All right, we are live, session 12 of Storm King's Thunder. This session is titled The Blood That Binds Us, and our party last left off in the city of Bryn looking for a man by the name of Artis Cimber, who they've had little luck finding. They found his son, who said that he left him in Bryn and disappeared for a long time and has not seen his father. So Artis Cimber has not been to Bryn in a while. Nonetheless, they came under attack by rocks, giant boulders that absolutely started decimating the town. Chaos and anarchy ensued as families and merchants and everybody, all the like, started to get crumbled and run over by boulders, houses destroyed. The party kind of flung into action, trying to do what they could. They headed to the south gate of Bryn Sanders, where they seen a force trying to break in the main wooden double gate. Climbing to the top of the tower, they seen 3 frost giants calling out for Artis Cimber, along with Duvessa and Markham and some town's guards. That is where we start the session. But before we actually do that, we pan back to a scene where it's the marketplace, and the boulders have already started flying through the city, and many of the merchant caravans and wagons and tents have already been bowled over. And it's kind of like that scene in a movie where you hear that loud screeching noise from like the shell shock, and you see people kind of wandering around, smoke and debris everywhere, blood, people crumbled and crushed by rocks. And you see a Belladora, of all people, kind of sprinting through, running, ducking, and kind of climbing over boulders in every which way in this marketplace that's been destroyed. She's looking around desperately, to which she finds a cellar much like the one that Mary hid a family in. She charges to that cellar. She opens it up and she closes it and kind of hides. And as you look above, you see another volley of rocks coming in. This is the second volley that you guys have already survived. And you also see her look out, and she sees a family of 2 children and a mother and father, and looking panicked. And she just kind of closes the cellar momentarily and hides. And then she sits there, this woman that you've met, this kind of urchin, this homeless woman that just always seems to know too much, but seems to more care about herself and money. And she sits in the cellar and just waits. And then moments later, seconds later, shit. And then she opens up the cellar. She charges out. She grabs the family and she says, "Get in there, quick, hide." The family goes into the cellar, and she readies herself for a volley of these rocks coming to the marketplace. It's at this point that we start the initiative off, and the town's guard are the first people that are actually up in the initiative. So they're going to launch off 4 attacks, 3 of which hit, and I'll do that damage. The Winter Wolves are actually, I forgot to show you guys the map. Let me do that first, because I do actually have a map for you guys. I apologize for that. Share sheet. Let me know if everyone sees that and understands it nice and good. For those watching, let me just screen share really quickly, and you can kind of at least get an idea what the map looks like. And then I'll just stop screen sharing. So basically, you're on this tower on the left side, and the wooden door in between you, and then to the right is where the guards in the other tower is. The 2 frost giants each have this big battering ram that they're smashing into the gate, trying to break in. And then there's these large grizzly bear-sized winter wolves that are also trying to get in. So the volley of archers shoot into one of the giants. The winter wolves are kind of like helpless. They can't really do much. They're scratching at the door, but not really doing a whole lot of damage. And it's at this point that the 2 frost giants are up next, and they are going to slam into the outer gate, both of them one time each, with their giant actually great axes. I said battle axe or battering rams, but they're just literally using these giant size great axes that they have. The first one swings into it. It's a door, so obviously he's not going to miss, and he chunks into it for a massive amount of damage. The other giant steps up and what's that?
Can you move the tracker for a moment?
The tracker?
Yeah,
I can. Let me do that. I always forget to do that. And then the next giant, again, he hits 2, and he is going to attack the door, to which now Warren is up. The archers fire their 3 shots into the giant, and obviously they hit him, but he seems literally like not that bothered by it. What do you do, buddy? And this is on Warrendale.
I'm muted. That's fine. We are on top of that tower or inside of it.
You're on top of it looking out. So that tower, the part that you're on is 40 feet high, and then below you is 30 feet of wall, and then obviously the ground 30 feet below that.
All right. And can we get down to the parapet, that wall right there?
Like, yeah, you could. There's a ladder. You can definitely just kind of walk over to it.
Sure. All right. And these are frost giants. All right. Well, I'm going to start with a simple firebolt. So he's right there. Okay. You can see Warren. He's already looking beaten, battered from shattering these boulders that were coming in to begin with. His face is a bit bloodied up. He looks a little worse for wear. A bit of a snarl on his face as he turns towards these things, both of his hands outstretched. Electricity crackles across his body. And yeah, I'm just going to drop a firebolt. This thing is acting kind of weird tonight, so hopefully this works.
Yep.
Yeah, it won't let me roll for firebolt.
Go ahead and just roll manually and add your modifiers if it's being weird.
Yeah, and then I'll fix it in just a minute.
Yep. No worries. Definitely a hit. Now to kind of give you the lay of the land, the frost giant on the right, you guys can probably see his name, Brimshar. He's the injured one. Frostneck is completely fine, and Duffrey is also completely healed. So,
all right. So Frostneck, I guess this would be going after. Whenever I cast a spell, I can move 10 feet. So I'm going to go black 10 feet, and then actually kind of go down the ladder a little bit, so I'm out of the way of these guys.
Sounds good.
So as I kind of buff it back a little bit, you can see Warren as he floats back a little bit, almost like the recoil from blasting off this firebolt, throws him back a few feet, grabs a hold of this ladder, and just quickly skitters down the end of it. And I think I can get the damage to roll, maybe. Yeah, well, not much, but it worked.
All right. And I was on Frostneck, correct?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you should be able to move your token if you want. Go ahead and just put it where you want it to be.
All right, now fix my die roller here.
Yep. So a firebolt shoots out, hits one of these frost giants in the side of the shoulder. It literally leaves like a scuff mark on him, almost like he doesn't even notice. It's at this point that Duffrey is now up, and she pulls out this stone that seems to almost be amber in color, and holds it up and speaks in giant that she knows Artis Cimber is here. Give him up or we'll destroy the whole town. And then she readies an action. She holds the rock or this glowing amber stone in one hand, and then it's kind of reaching down to the other ground and sticks her hand into the ground and lifts up a giant boulder and readies an action. To which Sunlit is now up. You speak giant, Sunlit, so you understand what she's saying.
Yeah, that is correct. Oh, Jesus. All right, so they are 40. All right, so how far away is this Frostneck right here?
The map is pretty accurate. So Frostneck is probably, what is that, like 5 feet? Yeah, but he's also he's 17 feet tall, and you're 40 feet up.
Okay.
So he's roughly 20 feet below you.
Yeah, he's 20 feet below me. So this gray square here is stairs. Am I correct?
Yes.
Is it like the way down?
Yes.
Okay. So I could move. All right. She's ineffective if anything up here. It's just nothing. There's nothing that she can really do here. So I'm gonna move back down the tower.
Okay.
Move right to the outside of the tower back here.
Now, keep in mind that the staircase that leads you down leads you inside town. So you'll be on the opposite side of the gate as the giants. And just to give you an idea of what shape the door is in, it doesn't look like it's going to survive too many more rounds of attacks, and then the giants will be in.
Right. All right. Well. All right. I'm just gonna keep her where she is then.
Yep. And ready in action or anything?
I'm gonna shoot a dart at that winter wolf in front of me.
All right, go for it.
Silver dart. See how this works out. I think that's the right way to do that. Yeah, it definitely works.
All right.
Huh, I know.
So you silver dart the giant, correct? And did you already roll accordingly?
No,
or
I should. Winter wolf.
Oh, right.
2.
All right, and the damage didn't go through as far as I'm seeing for some reason, so I will just add that in. 7 damage as you, or not 74. 7 damage as you dart a winter wolf. It snarls as the dart kind of pierces into the nape of its neck. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah.
That's good.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. Well, I can't offhand another shot, can I?
I do not believe so.
Yeah, that's only a main hand thing.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Well, she'll move. I don't want to be right there. So
yep.
I'm gonna move to the back side of this tower because she does see that door is pretty bad, and she thinks that she might be able to see them better from the side once they enter the building because they're going to.
All right, Olivia, you are up next. You see Warrendale blast off a firebolt. Sunny shoot out a dart into this crowd of enemies. What do you wish to do?
I think she's going to kind of foolishly at first, like, move to a window spot. She'll have her hand crossbow out and ready, and she'll like first kind of speak to them, and they're like, "We too are looking for artist symbol," but then it's like they're gonna understand me, like as they've been kind of talking. Well, the one that say in common, but she's like, do they give a quick reaction or any kind of like, oh, maybe we can work together kind of thing, or do they just look like we don't care what you want?
Yeah, they haven't actually spoken common yet. They've only spoken giant, and the only reason you know what they said is because Sunny and Octavius have understand it, so they're kind of relaying it to you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, she says that. Just assumes like whatever, they're not going to understand me, and she'll aim at Froshnak.
All right, Froshnak it up.
So I grab this one and oh, 13.
All right.
Really big.
Their AC that you're trying to get by is 15 on these bad boys.
It's all good.
All right.
Good. It's like, not with that right.
So yeah, interesting actually. Devessa, or anything else on your turn?
That's all that comes to mind at the moment.
All right. You can move if you want. Position yourself a little better if that's something you're into, or because you're basically staying on top of this tower, right? And you're clumped up with Markham and.
I was like, so whatever. I was thinking we're undercover, but it's like, yeah, she'd step back a little bit. Just, I can still see them, but
yep.
In case they decide to break down the wall.
Mm-hmm. So Devess is up, and she's definitely by no means really a fighter, but she actually is quite fluent in a couple languages, and she does speak giant, so she hears what they're saying, and she's looking around and just like, why in the world would they be here for artists? He hasn't been here in years. Shit. And then looking around, she hears you say like you're here for Artist Simber too, and she's just like, what is going on? Why is everybody here? What does artists have to do with this? She calls out in giant that they're mistaken. Artist Simber is not here, and the small like black-haired woman starts speaking this loud kind of very primal sounding giant language, to which they don't really, or she reaches she calls out that to Dufree, who then responds with her ready to action. That you're lying. We've tracked him here. We know you're hiding Artis Simber, and she is going to whip a rock at the tower that you guys are kind of stationed in. Here comes your first attack from a giant. Rock throw. 16 to hit. And now she's not necessarily going for you as much as she's going for the bottom of the tower. And this massive boulder sinks into the top of the tower and does quite a bit of damage. I'm going to need Octavius, Livy, Duvessa, and Markham, which I will handle, to give me a dex save as she obliterates the front of this tower, and you guys have to try not to fall down. That is definitely not the number you were looking for, Mr. Octavius Wren. Duvessa, let me give her a dex save. Oops, I didn't mean to do 2. She manages to save. And Markham is going to give one also. And he manages to save also. 12 is your target. What is Livy roll? I didn't see your number pop up. Livy. Oh, there it is. So yeah, Octavius and Livy, you guys are caught by surprise by the sheer force and devastation of this boulder, and you start to fall, to which you are going to take some fall damage. Luckily, there's some snow, so it's not as bad. You take 10 damage from falling 40 feet into the snow. And now, to give you guys a heads up, you are now down on the wrong side of the gate with 3 frost giants and 2 winter wolves. Markham, now being up, says, I don't care what the hell they're looking for. They're destroying the city, and I won't allow it. He pulls out a crossbow and shoots it at Dufree, just yelling out to, like, get the hell out of here, you giants. He misses, though, unfortunately. Octavius, you're now up, and outside the gates with Livy, you fall into the snow. It's a little harder than you would have hoped. You brush yourself off, and literally 5 feet away from Livy is this grizzly bear-sized white wolf.
All right, so Octavius, being able to speak giant, would pick himself up off the ground and look over to Livy with this white wolf and yell to the giants. We too, like everyone's saying, are looking for Artis. We cannot find him here. We as well tracked him, but he has left. There is nothing that this city can offer you. And at that point, he would cast Sanctuary on Livy.
Okay, which is Sanctuary on Livy. Okay, just disadvantage for attacks on her, correct? I always forget that one for some reason.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Let me see if you can.
It's in the chat.
Perfect. Let me just see if it actually can, because you clicked it on Livy, right? So it might
I just did it right there.
All right. Oh, she has it on anyway, so Fantasy Ground will take care of it anyways. But just to read it really quickly. Creature within range attack, spell, blah, blah. So I got to make a wisdom save to try to attack Livy, and if I don't, then I have to attack somebody else. Perfect. All right. When you say that she's mistaken, Dufree calls back out to you that small folk you're lying. We followed the bloodstone and has led us to Artis Simber. We know he's in here. The bloodstone does not lie. Jarl Strolvad gave us the bloodstone and told us not to leave until we have Artis Simber. To which,
well then,
go ahead.
Well then, let us help you. We probably seek him for the same reasons.
How do you know he's still alive with all those stinking rocks you're throwing?
To which, from all different directions around you, you look towards your left and right, and you see that giants are also all stationed along the outer rim of the city, pretty much as far as you can see. You would see that on your left is another frost giant that's like hunkered down by the side of a mountain and is picking up a boulder. And if you look to your right, you would see two more. They're obviously like very far in the distance, like probably even 200 feet away. And you see them picking up rocks and hurling another volley into Bryn Sanders. It seems like Bryn is being sieged by these giants. You still don't know how many there are, but there's at least 3 others besides the one that you guys are currently engaged with. And they are just going to quickly attack Bryn, which I already have some rules here. And yeah, Bryn's going to take another buttload of damage. I won't necessarily wait to roll that. I'll do that in a couple minutes. Jumping back up to the top of the initiative. Of course, I have like a bunch of NPCs to do before it gets to your guys' turn. The guards are going to fire another volley of arrows at Brimshar, this time hitting all 4 times. And towards your let us help, you say, the giants just say, let us in and give us Brimshar if you really want to help us. Or artists. And Winter Wolf number 1 is up, and that's the one that's across from you guys, but it instantly hears you come down, so it's going to run across, to which it readies up it kind of sucks in air, and you start to see cold build up around this wolf's mouth. And I'm going to need both Livy and Octavios to give me another dexterity saving throw.
There you go. You do that, there.
All right. So if you failed, which is the 12 is what you're looking for, you're going to take this full damage, which is 23. And if you pass, you take half of 23. As a cold breath exhumes from this wolf's mouth and literally starts to like freeze you guys against the wall. This creature is no slouch itself. Another winter wolf, which is in front of you, Livy, is going to try to bite you. Good luck. It rolls a 13 to hit, which I believe is a miss on Livy. I guess I could have just rolled against you. All right. Then. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I already forgot about that. Wisdom save.
Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, it missed anyways. So yeah, it failed its wisdom saving throw, but I'm not going to roll again to get another free attack. So it does not hit you. To which now Brimshar and Frostneck are up, and then Warrendale, you'll be up. So they're going to attack the gate once more. This time actually missing somehow. Brimshar just doesn't land his axe quite as well as he wanted to. And the next attack does land for Frostneck. And now the door is past blood, or like past halfway being destroyed. It's pretty much all but broken down now. A few more rounds of attacking and the giants will be in. To which Warrendale, you're now up. You see Livy and Octavios getting mauled by wolves and frozen with their powerful cold breath attack. What do you do?
So this gate is looking really rough, right? I can see that from my vantage point.
Yes, and you just hear it. Like they're just slamming into it with their great axes. It maybe will survive another round of attacks, but it definitely won't survive 2 more rounds of attacks.
I look over at Octavius, Sunny, being that you guys can hear these things, what are they saying? What do they want?
They're looking for that man that we haven't found yet, Warrendale.
All right. Does this gate look like, is it like kind of right on the precipice of busting down?
Maybe not on the precipice, but would be lucky to survive another round of attacks, basically. It might get through another round, but you're not 100% sure.
Okay. guys see Warren as he looks around, seeing these 3 frost giants in front of you, these 2 winter wolves, more of these things on the outskirts of this town getting bombarded. Seeing that these creatures really must clearly want in here, they're looking for the man, as Sonny said, I'm going to cast Shatter on the gate.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you're killing me. Anyways, all right, go.
All right, go ahead and
What do you need me to do for it?
just roll your damage straight up. Adora is
Okay.
not going to make a save against that. All right.
What does that put it at?
Let's see here. Let me get out the old calculator because I'm bad at mental math. I should already have this up every time I play. I don't know why I don't. Reverse math. All right, loading that up and making it full screen for some reason. Here we go. It has a little bit extra thump to it since it is already destroyed kind of building, so it hits a little harder than it normally should, but still manages not to actually destroy it. But now, definitely, they will be breaking through next round. It looks like one giant foot will just basically kick it through.
All right. So I'll move forward as close as I can get to these things and be like, if you want in, then take your step. I'll cast Shatter one more time on it. Be my last one.
All right.
And I'll give them free reign to do what they want to do.
Nice. Then yeah, that finishes off the gate and blows it open.
Now look over at Sonny and the others. You can see he's, not happy about this, but he just kind of motions around him to all these other boulders coming in, more giants, winter wolves. We ain't got the choice. Let them do what they need. We need to find this man as well as the rest of them. Maybe they can lead us to him. It's easier to deal with 3 than it is the dozen.
What does everybody else say to that?
Well, the other 2 are 40 feet down from where we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they wouldn't hear him say that. Sonny would look at him and go, they're going to destroy this town, Warren.
They're going to do it anyway. Might as well live.
I know you don't care about anything. Ever.
Bullshit, Sonny.
It's not
and
bullshit.
You go down there and fight them and die. I don't care.
I have no desire to do so. But now you've invited him in.
Dufree is now up as you guys are exchanging those words. She puts the free hand that she has onto a giant horn that she's holding that looks like basically the horn of some creature, but is all decorative and has these kind of almost frozen icicles hanging off of it. And she puts it to her mouth, and an immense sound resonates from this horn, to which, as you would look around, the giants that are holding the rocks momentarily kind of hold fire. And then she steps forward and just boots the door and absolutely shatters it. And then is going to start to boof, 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 walk by. To which Sunlit is now up. You see below you that the outer gate has been destroyed by Warrendale. And now Dufree is heading on in.
So this is the female, right?
Yes, the one that just walked by.
And that seems to be the leader.
Yes.
Female frost giant. In giant.
She looks up at you.
The man in which you are looking for is not here. We have looked for 2 days. We have met some of his kin that live here, but he is not here. I am friends with a giant, so I would not lie to you. Your quarry here is misguided and unjust. Please listen to us. We are looking for the same man that you are. We don't care if you kill him. Maybe we can work together. Queen Giant.
She laughs. Frost giants would never work with small folk. I care not for your lies. The Bloodstone has led us here.
What
We
on
know
earth is the
Simber is
Bloodstone?
harbored in this city, and we shall tear it to the ground. If that's what it takes to find him.
And what if you don't find him? And what if you do not?
Then your city will perish.
This is none of our cities here. Do I look like I'm from here? And she takes off the hood to her, to her cloak that she wears all the time.
I care not where small folk are
It's not
from.
the city.
I care for the path that Jarl Storvad has sent us on. The path for greatness. The frost giants will rise above all and plummet this world into an eternal winter. You small folk
Doesn't
do
even make
not
sense.
matter to us. You are just puny insects that we shall crush if you get in our way.
You do realize that we all are part of this ecosystem, is that correct? Because without us, what would you have to do?
She looks like she has no care to discuss the ecosystem with you. To which, yeah, so what else you got going on?
So, to which she backs up and opens her arms to let her enter the city because she knows there's nothing she can do to stop it. And Sunlight will move all the way over to here.
All right, Livy, the giants have broken in. You've seen what they're capable of, but
Forget that. There's a freaking wolf ripping her arm off.
Oh, yeah, you got a little worse than them.
Yeah, she's kind of standing up, and yeah, she kind of sees what's happening, and the giants are going in, and rocks are flying and whatnot, and just this insistent of Heart of Simber, we want him, and she's scrambling back from this wolf and pulling out her sword, and she is going to do her best to strike him, and as she's attacking this wolf, she's just talking to Octavius, just in this. Isn't it? Ooh, is that a crit for her? No, that's champion. Not Eldritch. But she'd be chances are, if he was in the city, he's probably already dead. Stabs the wolf.
Stab away.
Yep.
This thing's biting onto your arm.
I don't mean to be a pain, yes. But what are you stabbing him with? Because you don't have a rapier.
She does actually have a rapier.
Yeah.
Where'd she get one from?
She remembered last session when she was being ambushed that she has a bond to her weapon that she can arcanely channel to herself.
Yep.
Oh, cool trick.
Yes, sir. All right. 11's what you rolled to hit.
11. No, she rolled 25 to hit.
Oh, wait. 11 damage.
And then 11 is her damage.
All right. Yeah. I remember that now. So you stab into this grizzly bear-sized wolf, to which it growls in pain and anger, saliva falling from its mouth that almost seems to be crystallizing as it does so from the cold.
And before it turns over, she's going to do a second wind as she makes a statement, gets that awesome shot in, and just steps back. Just kind of focuses for a moment real quick, just okay, deep breath, deep breath, deep breaths. And we'll see how much she heals for here.
All right. As Duvessa's turn comes up, she is basically in a panic, what are you guys doing? You're letting them in. They're going to destroy this place. Artis is not here. I know for a fact. He told me he was leaving many years ago. And unfortunately for her, all she has is a dagger, so she's not really combat useful in this situation. She will beg to the giant that what these people are speaking is true. You will not find Artis Simber in this city, to which Dufree, the leader of this giant, basically makes a retort that she cares not for the small folks' lies. We will find Artis, or we will destroy this entire city in Jarl Strovad's name. May his storm blow an eternal icy cold upon this world. Next up, Markham steps into action, and he is going to fire a crossbolt right at Dufree, yelling out for this son of a bitch giant to die. For some reason, it keeps trying to do it at advantage. Why the fuck are you doing that? All right, let's just do this. I'll target it the way Fantasy Grounds intends me to do it. All right, and crossbow attack. He hits and does a total of 9 damage to this giant. It lands kind of right in her face, but the size of this giant in comparison to the crossbolt does not seem to be a grievous wound by any means. Octavius, you're now up. Your sanctuary spell has went off, which has helped Livy avoid being attacked by the wolf, but now you still have these 2 giant wolves in front of you that look like they do not have the best intentions in mind for you guys, already being in rough shape. What do you do?
Octavius is going to try to target the 2 wolves, which I think he did. And he's going to cast upset that they're attacking Livy and that this battle's going on. Not really concentrating on the giants at all right now, just really worried about the safety of the 2 of them. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Cool. All right, you hit. Or you hit 1.
Both.
You hit 1. All right. Let me see if that actually worked appropriately. It looks like it did. So
yeah, you'll see 2 firebolts come out of Octavius's palms. These weird fire worms just snaking their way in curves towards both of the wolves, and one of them missing, and one of them, thank God, connecting and hopefully melting the ice wolf a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Fire kind of burns away at the matted ice on these wolves' fur, but obviously they're still in pretty decent shape. Luckily for you, letting the giants in has at least called off the volley of rocks by the sieging giants, so Bryn Shander takes no more rock damage. The guards are going to continue their attack versus... they're actually gonna, they'll focus on who they're trying to do. Just bolt after bolt, trying to take down Brimshar. They miss, and then they miss again, and then miss, of course, and all 4 attacks miss. They're just completely morale is leaving them as they just are hopelessly watching their city be destroyed, and bolt after bolt seemingly do nothing. The Winter Wolves are now up. One's going to try to attack Livy. Wisdom saving throw and fail. So now I believe that it needs to make a different attack. I don't think it wastes its attack. Let me just double check. I'll go back up to Sanctuary.
You're right. It can change its target.
All right. To which, Octavius, you're the only one down there. So it is going to snarl at you and try to make an attack. Good luck, sir. You guys are in a sticky situation. It hits. All right. Let's see what happens. You're ripped to the ground for 13 damage, Octavius. Believe
I'm
unconscious you.
Yeah, that'll make me... Octavius will... No!
All right. Octavius is ripped to the ground, unconscious from the fall damage and the Winter Wolves attack. The next one who is up is going to try to, again, attack Livy, but it needs to make it save before doing so. Or no, she's unconscious now. So is Sanctuary concentration spell? I believe it is.
I was going to be like, if he fails, does he attack his partner?
Actually, it's not even. No, so yeah, it lasts. Yeah, so it can still not do it. What's your DC, Dan? Do you know? It's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your modifier that you cast with, which is probably wisdom. So 8 plus 3 plus whatever your wisdom modifier is.
17.
17. So it fails, and it can't attack Livy. So it will look around for someone else to attack. It is not stupid enough to attack its buddy, but it will leave and start heading into town, which would provoke an opportunity attack. Go ahead and attack. That's
17. There's no way it's 17. That's a song.
19 to hit is definitely a hit. And
no, wait, I was looking at the saves. It's only 14, not 17.
14?
That's my fault.
Oh, yep. Still failed. You're good. So 7 more damage goes through, and you don't have the wolf targeted, right, Mary? So I can add that in manually. I don't want to just double it out of the damage.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Brimshar and Froshneck now with a free gate ahead of them. You're going to hear Dufree call out that these small folk are like puny buzzing insects. Squash them, to which one of them is going to slam into the side of the tower and try to break it even worse. Give me a dexterity saving throw. Warrendell and Duvessa and Markham will do the same thing. Duvessa accidentally rolled again twice for her. She passed. And Markham will also roll his. What did you roll, Morgan? 20? Nice. So yeah, you're able to cling on, but now to make matters worse, this tower is starting to plummet down. So you can either ride it out in a way that puts you on ground level with Livy and not take any damage, or if you want to use your movement, you can bounce back to where Sunny is. So I'll let you decide that. You can either be on the ground with Livy or with Sunny, like 30 feet above.
Assuming I can write it down safely, yeah.
Yep. With a 20, you definitely like kind of slide down the rocks as they start to crumble, and you end up with Livy. You see that Octavius is unconscious, and Livy probably not in too much better shape. That puts us up to you, who's actually up next. You slide down this tower as it starts to crumble. It's now basically half a tower, and the top half is now just rubble. Rocks still starting to fall behind you as you slide down this rock tower, plummeting into the snow. You pick yourself up and see the wolf.
And Livy would be also pointing out, like, Octavius, like, point, or no, him.
Warren looks at Livy, looks at her pointing at Octavius on the ground, turns and looks at this giant that knocked this tower down. Bit of a smirk on his face. I make a little motion with my hand to get this giant's attention. Now cast Chromatic Orb. Let's go with a fire on this guy.
On Brimshire?
Whatever one smashed the tower. Yeah, Brimshire.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm pretty sure I said Brimshire.
Should not have done that. I'm going to use my point of inspiration for that one.
Seems like a good option.
Let me find that again. Attack. Does that hit or not?
16, I believe, hits. Let me just double check. Yep, 15 is your mark on these guys.
All right. I don't know if fire makes any difference, but this is for a fire.
Fire does not make a difference, unfortunately.
That's okay.
But an orb of fire explodes from your hand and slams into this giant's back, to which, as he attacked the tower, it was more like something that he wasn't really thinking of. Like, poof, he just hits it with his axe and kind of crumbles it and was going to walk away. He turns his back to you, not even giving you attention. But as you slam this chromatic orb into his back, he just turns around and curses you in giant, saying that he is going to split you in two with his axe.
And with that, I will use 2 sorcery points to make a quicken spell as a bonus action. Do this. I need a dex save 15 from him for lightning bolt.
All right. Now this giant is the one that's been taking bolt after bolt from the guard, so he's bloodied. And what is the save I need? A charisma?
Dex 15.
Dex. Why did I say charisma? He's not very dexterous, so he definitely fails. What happens to him?
Nice. What's that do to him?
Lightning bolt.
Excuse me.
That makes me pull out my calculator. I'm pretty sure that he's still standing, though. They're not the squishiest of squishies. But yes, describe what it looks like as you put him in a pretty injured state.
Yeah. With this chromatic orb that he sends, it's going to send me back 10 feet as well. I'm trying to get close to where Octavius is at, is my goal with that. So you see Warren fly back. All around, the snow kind of crackles and just melts into just water around him. You can see lightning traces across the ground, up his body. This nose just pours blood down his nose, his ears, his eyes. His body wraps a little bit, vibrates with this. And with Lightning Bolt, I'm going to grab a hold of Octavius, if I can, so that when I move back another 10 feet, it drags him back with me.
Yep.
And then, yeah, this Lightning Bolt, just this huge blast of blue electricity radiates off of him in the straight line, smashing into this giant.
Very nice.
And as a move action, I'm just going to drag him back as far as you will let me.
All right. So dragging him in correlation to the map, where are you trying to bring him?
As far away from that giant as I can possibly get him.
All right, so that's basically outskirts of town. Now you see that the Winter Wolf, still about 10 feet away from you, is definitely eyeing you guys up. But you can start dragging him. Else you used half your movement, so you can get him to probably like over here with all that going on.
That's fine. Yep.
All right, Dufree is now up, and she is pretty satisfied with the gate being broken. And you just hear her loud footsteps kind of vibrate the ground. Boof, 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 as she starts to head into town. She pulls out this thing that she's calling the Bloodstone another time. And as she walks into town, you see it start to flash this light and then do like a vibrating kind of hum that even resonates to you guys. And she kind of holds it up almost like a compass in some way and then starts to follow it into town. Next up, we have Sunlit. The giants seem to be in, but Warrendell, with a surge of arcanic energy, crackles a lightning bolt into one's back, to which you hear it called out that it's going to split him into two and turn around and start to head towards not just Warrendell, but Livy, Markham, Duvessa, and unconscious Octavius. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to use that double movement, feline agility that I have. So my movement is 70.
Yep.
80.
Yep.
So he's 23 feet down. No, that tower is broken, right?
The tower is broken in essentially half. So now there's like a very unstable kind of half rock slided tower that creates this slope downwards of unstable rocks towards the ground. But yeah, the half that's broken has now basically made it level with the parapets that you're on. So he is maybe 10 feet or less now from you. And if you were to climb onto the rocky rubble that is the tower, you could start kind of like sliding down and even get on a level ground with him in some way or whatever you're thinking.
Yeah, I want to do that. So I'm going to move right over to where he is.
Okay.
And
now, normally I would give a dex check, but since you're a feline and so like agile and stuff, I'm just going to say that you're able to get onto this unstable ground. And unless you're going to try to do something really crazy, not even a dex check to get on it.
No, she's just going to attack.
All right. So you just kind of run level with him and go and attack. Sounds good. Give it a shot.
Yeah. And here we go. $13 misses.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately.
I'm going to burn a point. Away. Okay, well, whatever. Just 4. And do a fury of blows. So I go again. That's even worse.
Jesus. Do you have inspiration that you've been hoarding, by the way?
I do.
That was an inspiration, I'm assuming.
So that is my second hit. I'm gonna say that I used
second hit.
And so the second one hits.
All right. And you get one more, right? Or two more?
Yeah, I have one more.
All right, and you're not targeting him either, so I will add that damage in manually.
Yeah, I don't know how
That's
to do
fine.
that. How do I do that?
Well,
how do
you control click on him in the initiative tracker on his picture.
Control click on Brimshire?
Yeah, and then it says you're targeting him now.
Wonderful. All right, and then last but not least,
Another hit. All right. He is now very injured.
Mhm.
You climb across, kind of sliding across this rocky tower. You slide down a bit to put you on level with him. You just see his massive gray frosty arm, to which you rip out your comma. You slice into him with one attack and then slice into him again, cutting him open. He now is just kind of profusely bleeding blood everywhere. There's burnt skin from the lightning strike. He yells out in anger and frustration. Livy, you're now up.
Wait, no, I'm not done.
Oh, yep.
And as one of my Drunken Master abilities,
Mhm.
I can disengage after using Flurry of Blows.
Yes.
Gives me another 10 feet.
Perfect.
So I'm going to move. So I disengage from him, and I'm going to move over here on the other side in front of Octavius.
Okay. Sounds good.
So that hopefully it comes to me before it comes to them. So go ahead.
Perfect. Livy, you're now up. You see that the
Awesome.
Frost Giant has his attention set on you guys now, but he's also looking pretty badly injured.
Wolf, Frost Giant, Wolf, Frost Giant, Wolf. I think she's gonna go with the wolf because he's just a little smaller.
I will let you know that as you are assessing the combat scene, Frost Giant in much worse shape than the wolf.
Okay, then, and also taking into what I was already realized that I've been underpowering Livy a little bit. She has extra attack, and so
Goddamn. Yeah, that's definitely underpowering her a lot of bit.
she goes over to how do I get that off? There we go. To the Frost Giant. It looks like it's back to her, but yeah, you said it turned around, and so she's just gonna hop on over and rapier gleaming. Be like, oh, that's the wrong thing to roll, but hey, if I hit, okay, 20, and her second attack, 10 will miss.
20 does hit.
Yeah, so she'll be doing 8 points of damage because I rolled the damage first on accident. And she goes in for her second jab as she kind of maneuvers over, slips a little bit on the snow, and just misses her target.
Absolutely.
Darn it.
Stab into him. You just hear. Go ahead.
Is this giant looking like that one nice stab in the ankle or whatever is coming down?
So
what
happens is you stab him in the ankle, you just hear, "Ooh," he growls up in pain, and you basically stab him in like his ankle or something, and he drops down to one knee, putting a hand forward with the other hand. He still has his battle axe out, and
okay.
like,
I want to say with how you describe that she feels invigorated now. Like, yeah, she may have missed on that second attack, but she's going to make an action surge.
Yeah, that sounds like a good choice.
And that just gets one more attack. Like, she can't do another double attack, right?
Nope, you get another full action, and anytime you take the attack action, you get extra attack.
Wait. So let's go with 17 and 7. So again, similar kind of thing where she's able to land that initial attack. Great. Tries to do another maneuver, but that snow just and offsets her. And
right.
so
you need to do an impressive amount of damage to take him down, but
impressive, right?
Pretty impressive, but he still clings on to a little tiny smidgen of life.
In the back of her head, all she can hear is just going, "Oh, cool! You just pissed him off even more."
To which Duvessa is now up, and she kind of finally having enough screams out, "Get out of my town, you giant sons of bitches!" and kind of charges at it with her little tiny dagger, this small kind of frail looking woman, and she is going to, oh my god, miss. So she misses. The giant just lifts its head up and almost bats her out of the way. She falls back a bit, Markham is now up and says something Markham-y. Get out of my town, you stupid giant bastard. Like a badass or something. And fires his crossbolt, to which, oh my god, these rolls. Usually I roll in you guys' favor with my NPCs, but not tonight. He misses too. The giant, on a last-ditch effort, picks up his battle axe, hits the bolt out of the way. He yells out in giant that you will pay for this. Octavius, unfortunately, a death saving throw. Go ahead and hit me with that. That is not quite what I had in mind for a death saving throw. You healed yourself for some reason on my screen. $13, one success. You frame a bit more to the conscious side as you're kind of seeing things in a blur. You're frosty, you're cold, you're bleeding, but you look up and you see that Warrendell is dragging you, and Sunlit is imposed herself in between you and the Frost Wolf. Next up is the giants who would normally volley with rocks, but they're standing by. The guards are now going to make their 4 attacks versus Brimshar. That one hitting. So let's see if these stupid guards can take it down. Missing, hitting, and missing. So 2 attacks get through. That one does a whopping 2 damage to Brimshire. He drops to the ground again, picks himself up, yells out in an absolute rage. But as he does so, another bolt sinks through in the back of his head, taking down Brimshire. He drops to the ground. One of the frost giants have been defeated. That now leaves a winter wolf up, though. Sunlit, this thing growls at you. The ancient rivalry that is wolf versus mountain lion-like creature, or jungle creature in this case, now presumes, as this thing first tries to recharge its frost breath. It does not do so. So it will then lunge into the ground, kicking up snow as it does so, charging forth at you. It is going to try to bite. Sorry. It rolls a 19 to hit plus its modifier. So good luck, as it is going to damage you. I don't like adding damage to your guys' character sheet, so I'm just going to get you to do that manually. I feel like it's just too much meta knowledge for me to see that kind of stuff. So 7, actually, luckily, only 7 damage, but give me a DC 14 saving throw, Sunlit.
What type of saving throw?
Save strength. Yeah, sorry. You fail by 1. It rips you to the ground prone. Its attack is, however, over, though. And the other winter wolf has headed into town to find some tasty snacks, because you guys weren't down here at the time. Actually, nah. Let me just give him a little sniff to see if he'll see that his friend is in trouble. No, he rolled really low. So yeah, he continues forth. Frostneck. What is he going to do? Will he turn around on you guys and inevitably wreck you? Let's see what happens. Perception check. He's pretty focused on following. He rolls that. He is more focused with going into town than his fallen comrade also. So Warrendell, you're now up. I've been falling behind here in initiative. 1 giant has been destroyed. A frost wolf, still in combat with you guys, has now engaged on Sunlit, and the other giants are heading into town to wreak whatever havoc they can muster.
Warren looks over at you, Sonny. Do you look like you're okay at the moment?
Yeah, she's fine.
All right. Seeing that she's okay, he's just going to drop down. I'm just going to roll for medicine and see if I can help Octavius out. It is not a good skill, Octavius. I'm sorry, but... So I'm not quite sure what's wrong with you. I try some mouth-to-mouth and blow on you a little bit. You can just feel my electricity sparking you up, but apparently you don't get turned on any. So
Yep.
I stick my fingers in a couple of these holes, make sure that there's blood in there, make sure you have some internal organs that are still around. But
Yeah.
I do not know what to do with him. He's
The
been
worst, the worst first aid treatment of all time has been performed on you. You borderline die and are reborn, but
I think he's already dead. We just bury him now.
Dufree and Giant Friends storm into town, to which you guys are quickly going to lose sight of. Sunlit, you're now up.
All right, so it's not grappled with me; it just knocked me to
you
the
prone.
ground.
Yep, so you're fine. You can literally stand up. It's just half your
So
movement.
I'm gonna use half my movement to stand up. And the nice thing is that my feline agility will reset because I'm gonna move 0. All right, yeah, and I also have extra attack that I have not been using. Thank you, Mary, for bringing that up.
Nice.
So I can make 4 attacks per round.
You suboptimal people. Just kidding.
Yes, I'm so nervous about what's going on here that I didn't play very well. So she's just gonna stand up, comma still in her hand, and just start hacking at said winter wolf in front of her.
All right, it's still pretty healthy, so you have a fight ahead of you. That's a hit.
All right. Here's something that isn't right as well. Here on the fantasy grounds, it makes it a D4, but at level 5 you get a D6.
All right. Interesting.
So that's not something that changed. So I'm going to roll D6 and add 4.
Yeah, I think because you're using your comma right, it's a manual thing, so maybe Fantasy Grounds just didn't know better.
So that's 10 damage.
All right. 10 damage to the wolf as the first attack goes through. You slash across, ripping into this thing's fur, cutting it open. I believe you have some more attacks to follow that up with.
So there's the extra attack.
That one sinks in again. 10 more damage. God damn.
Damage.
Another attack rips into its fur. It kind of whimpers out in pain, gets chucked across the snow, instantly darts back up at you. Its fangs kind of try to lock in, but you push them away. What else do you got? Another attack
5 damage.
for 5 damage. 3 quick blows come from Sunny as you match this creature, and then the 4th attack. Nice.
And that is
9 more damage.
So
all right.
29 plus 5, 34 damage in 1 round.
Yeah, I got it all in.
And then she Octavius is still between her and the wolf, right?
Yes, you're protecting Octavius.
So badly want to disengage. But I'm not going to.
All right.
She likes Octavius quite a lot. She hisses at the animal. I'm assuming it looks pretty bad in front of me.
It is bloodied actually, but so basically at least past half. Still definitely not out of the fight yet though, as it growls back at you and even more kind of angered. You, Livy, look over and you see, obviously you're tired and injured from the fight, but Sunlit steps in and starts challenging this thing, slashing and punching and kicking and weaving with all of it with her commas and everything. What do you do?
She goes over to join the dance. And she'll let her rapier. Try to be even more careful this time in the, it's snowy. Let's try not to slip. And so we'll see what happens. I don't know what their EC is, but hopefully a 14 hits.
14 will hit. 13 is your mark.
Sweet. Well, yeah, keep in mind, I should not move too quickly and make sure my footing is a little more secure, and she's able to come in and sword stab in the side on one end and maneuver over and down the paw or like the leg. And so 16 points of damage there.
You come on its flank, stab it into its back, pulling out again, quickly whipping another strike. The thing is pretty grievously injured now, but still up and kicking.
Not for long.
All right. Duvessa looks back at you guys, seeing that you're fighting, and will ask, like, the giants are in town. Are you going to help us? We need to stop them. You're muted. Pretty much
Tell her
everybody.
to help my friend.
We're a bit busy.
Give him mouth to mouth or something.
What?
I think you need to lick his toes. I don't know.
She reaches into her bag and says, "Here, take this." Whips across a vial towards you, Warrendale. You catch it. You see that this liquid is kind of in it, a green kind of thick-looking liquid. Make him drink it. To which Markham will be up next. He is going to try to not attack that stupid guy because he's already dead. He is going to try to... Why does it do that to me? For some reason, when I grab Markham's dice, it like tries to roll 5 of them. Next up, a hit on the Winter Wolf for Markham, and he is going to do another 2 damage. My rolls are brutal for these guys tonight. Quickly, we got to finish this wolf off and get into town. Octavios, good luck on another saving throw. Unfortunately, we got to wait for Warrendale's turn to dump some magic liquid down your throat. Luckily, Octavios' will is strong, though, as he hears all this kind of going on in a blurry fashion. Guards are now up. They're going to ready themselves on the tower and fire some arrows at Froshneck. So let's do that. Froshneck is now targeted, and we're going to go ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Wow, my rolls are just atrocious. 1 attack gets through. As the distance is quickly growing between them, only one of these guards are trained enough to hit at this kind of range. Winterwolf now up, Sunlit and Livy flanking it. It's going to try to recharge its winter breath. Not able to do so. It's going to bite again at you, Sunlit. This time rolling a 10 to hit, which is definitely a miss. Giants are going to feel the one arrow kind of sink into its back. It looks behind, it sees the 4 guards kind of standing there, all in a line on the parapets, reaches in, grabs a chunk of the building out, rips it out. The building starts to fall. This big boulder now in its hand, it's going to huck the rock boulder that it has grabbed from the ground and try and hit these stupid guards. It definitely does so. And let's see how many guards get in trouble. Boom. 2 guards are instantly killed as a massive boulder just plows through them. You hear them cry out in pain and look to see 2 of them falling as 2 more kind of hang on for dear life. Warrendale, you're up. Winterwolf, badly injured now in front of you.
I'll just stop for this battle and give it to good old Octavius. Lift your head up a little bit, Octavius, and just start shoving this bottle into your mouth. Drink it. Oh, yeah, drink it.
You take a healing potion of health, Dan. Just a regular one, which I believe is 2d4 plus 4. So I'll let you roll the health, Mr. Denham, or Octavius. And go ahead and join the living consciousness.
2d4.
Is that other frost giant coming back, or is it just hurl the thingy and turn back away?
You guys technically would not see it. Markham would, though, and he looks pretty satisfied with the warning shot that he just gave.
Okay.
Yeah, Octavius is back up at least.
Nice. So 8 more healing points to you, Octavius. We're just going to take Dufree out of the initiative for now. She falls off the map for you guys. And Sunlit, you're now up.
Yeah. Still having Mr. Wolf in her face, she's going to do what she does.
Do it, girl.
That,
Whoosh, miss.
that's a miss. Well, she gets an extra attack, so let's have that.
Damn.
Is
2 3s in a row.
inspiration.
What is mine?
I burn an inspiration to make that hit.
That does so.
There you go. And then, so it's a D6.
+4, right?
Is 6 damage.
6 more damage.
Yeah.
All right. Still barely hanging on to life.
All right. I still have 3 key points left, so we're going to flurry your bows again.
All right. Should be able to kill it if you get both of these attacks through.
17 hits.
7 damage.
7 damage.
All right. One more attack hit, and you definitely finish it off. All right. Describe what it looks like. It had 1 HP left.
Yeah. So, it's as has been seen before, she usually travels with 2 commas, but the other is broken, and she's giving it away to be repaired and renewed. So she is hacking away, doing her thing with the precision of a martial artist of what she is, and she jumps onto the back of the animal, and it's a slicing weapon. So she just kind of gets it in a headlock at the same time that she has the comma, and she just cuts it directly across its throat. Surprisingly, the blood is so warm inside of a beast that's so cold, but it drains onto the ground and just turns the whole ground in front of them, a nice crimson color.
Absolutely.
And the beast falls to the ground.
It does. With one last kind of whimper, you feel the life drain out of it. Now, as you all breathing heavily in some of you rough, battered shape. Go ahead.
I was just like, is your kind more naturally aggressive towards canine creatures?
Huh?
Just thinking like cats versus dogs. Like, you just killed a wolf. Like, that was some badass stuff you did. Is your kind more naturally aggressive towards canine creatures?
I never seen an animal like that before, Olivia. But I'm glad it's dead.
Shrugs. We have giants.
Octavius would just look up the window and thank you, my friend. What in the world happened?
You don't know how to
Well,
kill
you
wolves,
fell very
apparently.
far. And
Wolf.
quite heavy. Wolf, this thing. I took care of it for you, everybody.
Markham looks over to you guys. Please, we need your help. I know we're asking a lot, but they're going to destroy this entire place. Hundreds have already died, and hundreds
Where are the
more
other
will die if we just let them.
How much you want to bet that they already killed Artis Simber? If he is in the town, they've just defeated the
The
purpose.
vessel steps up. Artis Simber is definitely not in this town. I spoke to him when he left, and he told me that he was going far away from this place and would not be back.
And when
Did he
was
tell you
that?
when he went?
Years ago. He made me promise that I wouldn't tell anybody that, but this is more than beyond I promise that I'm willing to keep. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what these giants want. I don't know why you guys want him,
Well,
but this is
we're
too
trying
much.
to figure out why, or along the lines of all the things that we know about the Order of the Giants, we are trying to find him because we think he has answers.
Has Warren ever heard of this bloodstone that he keeps talking about? Or
I'll give
Dufresne's
you-
talking about?
Give me an Arcana check. You might have heard of a bloodstone before.
Can I do the same history check, possibly?
Yep, go ahead.
History checks are coming out. Livy's hopping in on this.
Hop on in.
Let's
Alright.
see what
What's it
her
mean?
more.
All right, so bloodstone is what it's code, and let me just read it to you. Since a 20 is more than enough.
Yeah,
You would know that it is basically a stone that through a ritual. This is actually a you would have somehow heard that this is like a giant's kind of ritual thing, and they imbue the blood of a creature into this stone, and it allows them to track it. Pretty much just will draw them and direct them to the creature, basically like a compass that is locked on to the blood of that person. Now, with a 20, you would know that if the person is out of range of the bloodstone, which is massively far, like would probably with a 20, you would know that like it would easily be able to track this whole continent of Faerun. So Artist Simber, if he's not in this city, you would have a strange feeling that it tracks the next closest bloodline to the person if it's not in range. So you get the feeling with a 20 that they're tracking Cyric, the priest that you guys met.
I'll converse all that over to you guys then. They're just gonna kill his son. That's how they're gonna find you, is my guess. If you're truth about this, Simba not being here, the bloodstone will next.
I agree.
His son. Do we need his son? He makes very nice pellets, but he sings too much. I find him kind of annoying.
I think that's probably who they are going for. We should protect him. It's not his fault.
True.
Can I roll a perception check to see how many other giants I see in this area?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I don't see very many.
No, it's kind of hard. Like obviously, this town is walled around, and like it's a pretty massive town itself, many miles. So you still see the 3 that are positioned on the mountain around, but just from your kind of passive intelligence, you'll remember seeing like volleys of 9 rocks coming into town, and just by knowing, you know that usually a giant doesn't throw more than 1 rock, so maybe somewhere around that ballpark is a probably good estimated guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to decide what to do. We've only killed one of these things and its dog. And there's, 11 more to go? They'll kill us all. I like my life.
Well, your math is off, Wando. 9 rocks hit the ground, so that means that there was only 9 of them.
Plus the 2 that are already inside is 11.
Right.
9.
But you don't think that they were throwing rocks as well?
Nah, they were already here.
No reason to have an argument, but yes, if you want to try to help this boy and march to our death, I think that sounds like a wonderful idea. I think we were lucky to take this one down. And she walks over to where that giant is and stands next to it. Now, is the head as tall as she is?
Yeah, I'd probably say pretty much.
Like, she's like 6'3".
Yep. That sounds about right to me, that its head would be the size of you.
They're small, Warrendale.
Okay. Why are you arguing with me? Let's decide what to do.
Devesta would look at you. Please help us. We'll pay. We'll pay if you can just help us.
We could try and pick.
We must help. We must try to do something.
Markham says, like, I don't have time to sit here. I got to go. Devesta, you stay with these guys. If they're going into town, they're going to wreak more havoc. And he starts to, like, bolt on in.
Yeah, no, I mean, she'll follow along.
Livy's going, we should try and pick them off one by one.
All right. Warrendale and Livy, I'm assuming you see Octavius and Sunlit charge in. You said you're going, Dan, correct?
Oh, yeah, Octavius, that's just part of who he is.
Yep. So, Livy, you following after?
Oh, yeah, she looks longingly to the outskirts of town where giants are still throwing rocks in.
No, they've stopped throwing rocks because of the horn that Dufries sounded. Basically, since she's going in, she called off the attack. She doesn't want to get hit by rocks.
Fair enough. Awesome. All right. Yep.
All right, Warrendale, to your probably shock, these fools are charging in after giants. After seeing the devastation that they can bring, what do you do?
He watches as the others run in, shakes his head a little bit, and drags his feet.
Nice.
Ugh, they're gonna kill you, son.
All right. Tracking giants isn't the hardest of things to do. They leave pretty big footprints. You follow them into the center of town for a while, and it's not long before you come upon Dufree and Froshnik and the one wolf still going through. You hear Dufree call out for the wolf to track, and it kind of drops to the ground, starts sniffing and plowing through town. You see a random villager get up and try to run across, to which the wolf just jumps, snarls, and takes it down, starts biting at the poor innocent bystander's neck and ripping it up. Another giant, Froshnek the giant, kind of comes in, and he just goes and like pushes against the wall of a building, kind of just imploding the wall itself and looking in, seeing if he can find anybody. You hear Dufree call out for Artis Simber, telling him to surrender and give up the ring.
Okay.
To which they do not seem that aware of you. Markham and Duvessa stuck with you guys. They're kind of chasing in, but as of right now, the giants are just kind of like wrecking a havoc and trying to use this bloodstone to track them down. Unfortunately for them, it's not like a direct arrow. It kind of just hums and vibrates and gives like a feeling of direction of where to go, but it's not like a pinpoint thing. So you know it's going to take some time. And by the way that they're searching, a heckload of destruction before they find somebody. We'll keep the initiative the same. I'll pop them back in. Who wants to? We're technically not in combat initiative though, so up to you guys what you want to do. Actually, yeah, we'll just get over
Where's
initiative.
the church?
The church. You guys have run past the church, so let me bring up the map of Bryn. You are almost on the. They are like heading into the marketplace themselves. So let me share the map, and you guys have booked past the church. Now you'll remember that you were originally with Sirik when this attack begun, and you were faced with the decision of going into town and helping people, which is what he chose to do, or charging the gate, which is what you guys chose to do. So you know that he headed back into town. Now, as of for the map, let me just drag a random person's token onto the map. You guys, wow, that's real big. That's a big Octavius. You guys are roughly here. Now in the center of where this blue line is the marketplace, and the giants are just on the outskirts of that in front of you guys.
And we came from the southwest gate.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, no, we'll keep you guys out of initiative for now, just to keep things simple.
Octavius is going to he's gonna cast Channel Divinity, Preserve Life on himself for 12 points.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. I'll let you check that yourself. What's everybody else doing?
All right, where's the wolf in
The wolf is now in the marketplace and ripping up a bystander.
So it's not paying attention to us.
No.
How far away from it is us?
You are still at least 150 feet away from the giants.
And the wolf is right there over there.
Yeah, the wolf's like 30 feet ahead of them. So you're like almost 200 feet away from the giant. Yep.
Okay. So even beyond them. Yeah. Not really looking into rushing on two giants.
Yeah.
You guys just kind of stand off to the side of the street watching what they're doing. Another Dufree kind of comes up. He grabs a tent that was like a little merchant's tent and rips it up. You see a whimpering villager there, to which she grabs onto its arm and lifts it up into the air. He's just kind of helplessly, please, no, don't kill me. I have a family. And Dufree speaks out in giant, where is Artis Simber? The villager not speaking, he just kind of muddles on, like begging for his life, to which the giant, not getting any answers that it wants, just slams him into the ground like a rag doll, and the body just instantly goes limp.
Okay, Octavius can't.
Octavius, what? Sorry?
No, Octavius can't handle this anymore. He has to. He has to do something. So at this point, he's going to cast the Thunderwave, and he's just going to scream as loud as he possibly can, and try to affect these giants and just like get their attention and just be like, "Stop what you're doing! Artis Simber's son is here. Maybe he knows of this ring you speak, but you gotta stop destroying things."
All right. Now
I'm not
Thunderwave.
using it to hurt anybody. I'm just using it to get their attention.
Oh, so thaumaturgy then? Make your voice 3 times louder?
I don't have thaumaturgy. I only have Thunderwave.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So you don't want to do it as an attack, though?
No.
All right.
I like that.
Interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Dufree has this limp body in his hand. She throws it across the marketplace. It kind of flings into a tent and breaks. She turns around and looks to you. I'm assuming you spoke that in giant.
Yeah.
Boof, boof. She starts to walk towards you.
Duvessa,
She looks at you.
how much stock do you have in this boy?
What do you mean?
I understand that he's a priest in one of your churches and so on and so forth. But if Artis isn't here, from what my friends have figured out, they're probably extra tracking that boy.
Okay, he's just a boy though. He's a good boy. Why are you asking this? What do you mean?
They do not care if he's a good boy or a bad boy. They have shouted that they're looking for a ring. And do you know of such a thing, Duvessa? You seem to have had some knowledge of Simber.
She starts to try to explain it, but as she's doing so, you see that the giant Dufree is quickly closing the gap towards you guys. So she's, like I said, 150 feet away. So she's going to start walking towards you. But Duvessa is just kind of nervously watching as he's approaching, and she's not necessarily like understanding the purpose of this right now. But she'll explain to you that Artis purposely left Cyric in a pretty bad. No,
is it or is it not?
It's definitely not in the town. She doesn't know anything about a ring, was what she says.
And when she says that, I think Libby would kind of pipe in and be like, Grandpa talked about him having a ring of power. Artis.
Well, unfortunately, Grandfather's not here, Livy.
I know. But if he's
Wonderful
not
story.
about it, then
That's running at us, though. She points to the giant that is very quickly becoming closer. And she puts up her hands. Female giant, please stop. We have figured out what is going on for you. Artis Simber is not in this town, but his kin is, and that's who you're tracking.
Walking closer.
I don't know if this boy has this ring you shouted for.
Walking closer and closer.
Livy, hand crossbow, will aim and fire.
Fire.
That gets her attention.
Go for it. Yeah, and she's just gonna say, give up the kin then, and we shall get to the bottom of this. Like we shall track Simber through the kin.
I should have been a 22 to hit.
22 to hit. Definitely hits. Do free. Go ahead and do your damage.
Okay. So 7 points piercing.
All right, you hit her
Shoulder.
shoulder. The arrow sinks into this frost giant's shoulder. Obviously, not bothering her too much. It does, however,
So if we
annoy
bring
her.
you her kin, if we bring you his kin, you will not destroy the town any longer. Is that correct, female giant?
Livy looks around. What is left of the town?
Yeah. Sounds in rough shape. The giant would reply then that she cares not about this kin, only the ring and artist. If the boy does not know where the ring is, then it's a little use.
Right,
And
but we
obviously-
can't find that out until we ask.
Obviously
Yeah,
not
no,
too impressed that Livy threw a bolt at her. She is going to start ripping out the side of a building and get ready to hurl it at you guys.
What is the other giant doing?
Slowly turning around and starting to notice that this is going on too. So that would probably put us back into initiative since you attacked her.
Okay.
Extra attack.
Yeah.
He'll just load a hand, whatever. We're gonna deal with her anyways. But unfortunately, that one right off her tough skin.
All right, so I'll get you guys the re-roll initiative again. So I'll give you the chance to get a little higher. I'll also re-roll the giants.
Huh. We got worse.
Me too.
All right. Well,
Giants
the one,
are like gonna stomp us on the first turn.
well, happily for you, one of the giants rolled 0 on initiative,
Sweet.
so that's impressive. Dufree also rolled lower, and the winter wolf is sniffing around, not necessarily paying attention to you guys right now. So what do we got? 22, did that enter in your stuff? 14, looks like it entered in everyone's stuff automatically. All right, cool. Sunlit, you're the first one to act again. You're trying to talk to this. So moral of the story is this giant is set on some ring in Artist Simber. So it obviously wants the kin, but it's under the impression that that's going to get it more answers. According to what Devessa is saying, is that Sirik is just kind of a bystander to what Artist did. He purposely left Sirik in a bad way so that Sirik wouldn't try to follow him. She said that he's on, like, there's something very dangerous. He was very mysterious about it and wouldn't tell her, but he said that it was for the boy's own good that he hated him and would never look for him. Artist Simber did not want to be found.
Sounds like a wonderful man.
It really is once you get to know him. At least that's what Papa Ren would always say.
However, as she's rambling on about this, trying to tell you, she's progressively getting more and more nervous as Dufree is getting closer and closer, and then poof, fist rips out a side of the building and gets ready to chuck it at you guys. So
Yeah, but I get to go first. How far away is she from us?
I will say that she used her full movement to move forward to you at least once, so she is now a total of 110 feet away.
I can't even travel that far. Yeah, I just ready in action to go ahead and attack her when she gets in range.
All right, very good.
Oh, wait, no. I'm going to ready the dodge action for when she throws that fucking piece of whatever building she's going to throw at us.
That's a little smarter. All right. As you ready yourself for the impending attack, you hear a voice beside you call out, "You guys aren't very good at this whole negotiation thing, are you?" As you look over, you see none other than Belladora standing beside you. She has dirt on her face, and her clothes are ripped and torn, as she looks like she's been quite busy. She says, if you plan to fight this thing, you should probably get the hell out of its way. They're very destructive. And then she kind of waves you into the alleyway that she's standing in. It's better to fight these things not straight up. Trust me.
Why am I targeting everybody?
That is interesting. You somehow are targeting everybody. I can fix that really quick. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I'm like, why is Libby targeting Horndell? Oh, what?
Oh, that wouldn't be surprising, though.
Yeah, everyone's targeting everyone now. That's weird. I must have clicked some like super button.
Ah, Sanctuary's still going for Libby?
So yeah, Belladora calls out to you. Like come down this alleyway.
She would absolutely take that invitation.
All right, and she
well,
expectedly wait. You can unready your dodge action if you want to head down the alley, or you still have your movement, so you could just do that. That's fine with me. Octavius, what do you do? So she kind of imposes herself in an alleyway. Belladora comes out of nowhere and is like, "Quickly follow. If you want to defeat this thing, we gotta fight a little smarter than head on. I can help."
Yeah, I'm definitely in, and then I'm also going to cast Bless on my direct teammates.
All right, go ahead, and you should be able to do that, eh?
I'm not sure how to exactly.
So I think
if
you pull up Bless, you should be able to. There you go. It looks like you're figuring it out.
Oh, he targeted everybody.
Yeah, you can only target 3 people with Bless, so make sure you don't bless everybody.
I just want to bless Morgan, Livy, and Sunlit.
All right, let me get Deves over there and yourself. All right, go ahead and hit Bless now, and it should do that for you.
All right.
There should be like an effect thing on your combat sheet, and you should be able to just click Bless wherever that is and do it, to which it looks like you did. Yeah. All right, so now it'll automatically roll Bless for you guys. You follow Belladora down the alley. Yeah, we will say that Sanctuary. It's definitely been at least a minute by now. So unfortunately, Livy, you are no longer Sanctuaried. I'll get rid of that for you, though. You don't have to worry about it.
Thank you.
All right. For some reason, it double blessed her. I wonder if it double blessed everyone. I'll fix that in a second, though. Because, however, Duvessa is going to follow Octavius. You follow. Dufree is now going to launch a rock, though, and that only leaves Warrendale and Markham, who haven't acted yet. So let's see who gets it. Unfortunately, going to be you, Warrendale. Let's see if I can hit you. Boom. Definitely a hit as this rock gets hucked across the street. Poof, hits the ground, continues to roll with tremendous momentum, hits it again. It comes at a speed that you cannot prepare yourself for. You take 27 damage from this rock as it bowls past you, almost squashes you entirely, and then rolls into a building and starts to crumble it. The building itself starts to fall around you. It doesn't bury you or anything, though. You pick yourself up as you're absolutely just devastated by that strike.
All right, just as might as well for the hell of it, I'll cast Shield to give me a +5 AC. I don't know if that matters or not. You would do it regardless.
I get to tell you what the roll is, so I've actually just recently read this online that it's intended that you know what the roll is. So 23 to hit is what they rolled.
Then yeah, it wouldn't matter. I don't think. No.
Yeah, so you don't have to waste a spell slot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just read that online the other day that Shield is intended that you know what the number is.
Okay, so yeah. All
right. Markham's going to launch a shot at Dufree, and then he agrees that they should go not fight this thing head on. He ducks into the alleyway. Livy, you were in the alley. You were up for grabs too. Oh well, unfortunately for Warren.
And I was like, poor Warrendale. He's probably gonna be mad at Livy for.
Yeah.
Anyways, she's going to ping off 2 more bolts at Froshnik, I believe, or the one that she was already shooting at.
Now, is it a crossbow you're firing?
Yeah.
Because I believe that has the reload property to it.
She has
If you have a thingamajobber, then you have a thingamajobber, which fixes it.
Like, Where is that in my notes? Yeah, crossbow expertise.
Okay, cool.
No.
Then I will not say that anymore, and you can go ahead and attack twice.
1. 2.
Oh, it is double blessing you. All right, let me fix that. Either way, the both would have hit regardless. And let me fix that double bless.
And 22.
All right, go ahead and do your damage, and let me see if everybody else is double blessed. Yes, everybody is.
So 10 points of piercing, and she will duck into the alleyway with the others.
All right, and double bless fixed, and that's a total of 10 damage.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. You duck into the alleyway. Warrendale, you pick yourself up out of the rubble, probably coughing up an immense amount of blood. I can't imagine that left you in two. You are conscious, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I owe you a drink. I have a health potion.
I'll take you up on that offer later. Picks himself up, glares down. And how far away is she?
The giant is now.
10 or close?
Actually, it had its turn, so it would have continued to move forward too. So it moved another 40 feet. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see him getting up very slowly, as if all of his spells hadn't done enough. He looks completely crushed at the moment. Coughs up a bit of blood. His chest looks caved in. He's going to turn, looking at this giant. All this energy gathering around him. And let's do a lightning bolt. It's my last one. So DC 15 dex save I need.
All right. Luckily. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. Of course, I rolled a natural 20, though.
That's okay. I don't know how to make this thing. They take half damage. Okay, so let me just do it this way first. Let me see what I got.
Nice number.
So it'll take half damage since it's saved.
So 14 damage.
And I will burn a sorcerer point for a bonus action. And I got a chromatic orb left, so let's go with that. So you see this blast of electricity go off once, and then another one go off a little bit smaller as he drops back down to his knees. Each time I'm going to take a 10-foot move action with the spells to get me into the alleyway.
Yep.
And let's see what I need for chromatic orb. It is attack.
Hits.
And I'll just do lightning. Just no matter.
Because of the bless, actually, that's crucial for you guys right now. 11 more damage. So with the guidance of Octavius, you find purchase with both of your strikes. The crackling beam of lightning and then another smaller one in the form of an orb. Dealing a pretty impressive amount of damage between all of you, Olivia, Markham, and you. You still haven't even managed to bloody this creature, as it's just this walking force of it just seems like a giant iceberg of impenetrable force that's heading towards you, Dufree. Just seeing the immense endurance and power of the frost giant is probably an intimidating thing to see as it yells out in rage and heads towards you. That brings us back to the top of the initiative, which brings us back up to you, Sunlit. Why is it not cooperating with me? Let me do this. Belladora will point up the alleyway. Quickly, in there. We got to get out of the thing's sight first, and then we can take advantage of it while it's not watching us. And she points towards a building and a door. You're first in the initiative, so what do you do?
Yeah, I'll definitely enter that door. What is this building?
You kind of kick into it, and what you find yourself in is just literally a person's home, basically. There's people hiding underneath in the kind of living room, whimpering and crying. As you walk in, the first thing you see on your right is a living room. Up ahead is a kitchen, but in the kind of main entryway is a staircase that goes up. Belladora, you hear behind her, "We need to get to the high ground. Stairs."
Yeah, I certainly. I would use that double movement thing that I have, so I can move 80 feet.
Yep. You are easily able. You slam into the door. You kick in. You look up. You find the stairs. You start to carry up to the stairs, which leads you up to another kind of almost intersection hallway. 3 different rooms. So picture a cross now at the base of the stairs. One room to your left, one room straight ahead of you, one room to the right in this hallway that you're in. Which way do you want to go?
All right. So this building is like a house just on the
Yeah, you just
That's
literally
on the
barged
road
into
lane.
somebody's house in this
Yeah.
kind of alleyway.
So she would know which direction that still was the main drag where
Yep.
Durfee's coming up.
So left is probably
Right.
in the direction from where Jufrey would
Yeah,
be.
that's where I wanna go.
You charge into what looks like a child's room. There's a window with this kind of like little tiny balcony.
And I can see her still.
You can't see her, so you've kind of carried in so far that there's still houses between you. Belladora would have been telling you to like get to the roofs though.
All right, I would come back out of the room. Does it look like there is
Give me perception.
access to get to the roof from inside? Perception?
Yep.
I will do so.
Just kind of looking around everywhere. Quickest way up. 16. You'd actually see a kind of pull down latch that would lead upstairs. So you kind of reach up, you grab it, you pull it down. This folding staircase kind of folds down. A bit of snow kind of caving in as it does. So it looks like they do have like an access out to the top roof of this building. With the crazy amount of movement you have, you could literally just like carry yourself all the way up there. You know that you move much quicker than everybody else though, so you'll be like a full round ahead of them.
Okay, so I would like to. Is it like an eaved home or is it flat?
This roof itself is actually flat. So it looks like they
Okay.
probably, for some reason, would hang out on here sometimes. So you pull it down and you'd see that there is like outdoor kind of furniture for whatever reason and an old fire barrel that they would keep heat around.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the fire barrel lit?
No.
Okay.
Ashes in it.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there anything for her to hide behind?
Yes, we can say that you can take a hide check if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to do so. Stealth, right?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're not the most highest, but you're also on like a 20-foot building, and you know the giants are only like 17 feet tall, so you're technically taller than them anyways. Belladora running through the hallway. Quickly, we got to get up before they see us. If they see us in this alleyway, our plan's basically screwed. Running you guys. In there. Sunny, turn in there. Quickly follow her upstairs. She's just kind of barking out orders. As she's doing so, she's pulls out this giant crossbow that she has, which is like almost half the height of her. And you see her pulling out bolts now that you don't even really know where she's gotten from. And she's pulling these bolts and like attaching these strings and whatnot. And as you see the crossbow itself, it looks rather intricate. There's like all kinds of extra mechanisms and stuff. And she's twining rope around the arrows and connecting it to the crossbow in some weird way. You also see now that she's kind of like kicking the ground. And as she does so, these spikes start to come out from her boots. You always knew that she was wearing like these obnoxiously large boots. Picture like white girl in these like really ridiculously looking Uggs. Only now as she's like kicking the ground, you see that spikes are starting to come out from the Uggs themselves, and she pulls back her cloak, and you start to see that she has like an immense amount of weaponry on her. And she's just would toss a weapon to who would be opening up a hand for a weapon if she was looking to toss it to somebody. Would anybody?
I think Livy's still technically out in the alley because it's not her turn yet.
Yeah, the only person that would see her would be I. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, everyone. I'm assuming everyone took a turn to move into the alleyway.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
everyone.
but it sounded like she'd gone into a home.
No, she's not in the home yet. Sunny's ahead of everybody else, so she would be slightly ahead of you guys, but she's kind of like leading you guys. She
Then there's something ranged weapon.
It is a melee weapon, and what it looks like is she actually starts to fold it out, and at first it kind of looks like a scythe, but like a miniature version of it. And she just says, if we're going to take this thing down, we need to use these. They're great for doing it.
She'll sheathe her sword and be like, why not?
All right, so she hands you a weapon that you don't really necessarily know what it is, but if you like kind of look at her confused, she'd be like, Yeah, actually, yeah, you're a fighter, so you know what it is. It is a modified, I don't even necessarily know the technical name for it, but basically, if you hit a giant successfully, it has to make a save or you'll have a chance to trip it up.
Ooh.
So, yeah, as a fighter, you would know that this is like specialized weaponry to actually combat giants.
Okay. Oh man. Do you
She
want
hands you one. She also pulls out another crossbow, which seems to be actually the crossbow that she's kind of fastening. She hooks the rope to it, and she's like, "Who would be good with this?" Does anyone
I'm
say
good at
anything?
the crossbow.
She chucks you the crossbow. You kind of grab it. She pulls out another one from her side and starts to work on that one too. And she's just basically making sure that everyone's getting into the building. Quickly, quickly, hurry up. Duvess is up. She kind of like
important question though is Livy takes this awesome looking weapon. Is it heavy?
it's actually surprisingly pretty light. It's definitely heavier than your rapier though.
Yeah. But it's like her aim is gonna be very interesting, or at least she's just using finesse weapons, so this is gonna be entertaining.
Yep. Yeah, this is actually definitely a strength-based weapon. So yeah, you got that going for you. Octavius, you get hurled this crossbow, and she's just basically waiting, like showing her arms over and over again. Hurry up, get into the building.
Yeah, I'm cruising. I catch this crossbow and continue to move on into the building, not questioning.
Yep. As you're looking at it, you see that the crossbow itself has this kind of like big ass bolt, which has more hooks to it than it normally would. Almost like picture like a kind of fishing hook, only massive in size, and 4 different hooks protruding from it, so that if it did penetrate skin, it would dig in and not be able to be pulled out. And you would look and see that there's rope connected to it. And yeah, you probably wouldn't necessarily know what's going on, but you continue in, you get into the house, you see that these people like looking up, like trying to see what the hell is going on. As you look around, they kind of point upstairs, and you presume that that's where Sunlight goes. You're not able to quite move as quickly as she can. So you get to the top of the stairs, and you see that there's another staircase that's been pulled down to the outdoors. I imagine you would hear Sunlit up there because she didn't roll the most stealthy of checks. Dufree, now that she has lost sight of you guys, is going to use her sprint, which basically pulls her just a few feet away from the alleyway, so she's not going to get a peek at you guys. To which Warrendale and Livy and Markham are all up. Markham's following. What do you guys do as you kind of get inside?
Doing a few lifts, and probably try and position herself in a way where she'd be able to at least strike at the feet. She doesn't want to go up, but she might. But then she probably think about it. It's like, she sees me ducking in and out. Like, I get one surprise, but I can't back in because that will draw attention to the building. She'll smash it. People up top fall. Ugh. But yeah, she's likely to just be like, well, I'll get one good surprise on her. So.
Hiding you the melee weapon, Bellador is actually going to tell you that you two are going to stay down here. If you're listening to her, obviously, you can tell her that you're going to do whatever you want. But she's like, me and you, we're going to stay down here. We're going to wait. The rest of you upstairs, wait on my signal. You'll know when to go.
What?
To which I'm assuming everyone does, which now begins the moment of you ready yourself up. You kind of climb upstairs, and you're on top of this building, to which one side opens out into the main street, obviously. And then obviously the alleyway that you guys ran through is pretty small. So you hear Dufree kind of pushing around, and then you hear the other giant talk, to which anyone who would speak giant would basically hear the conversation of, where did they go? They ran down this alleyway. I don't see them. You go one way, I'll go the other. To which kind of is this momentary moment where they're going to start perception checking as they walk down the streets. Dufree is the one that comes down the main street as the Frostneck goes down the other way, which is away from you guys. So she starts to check, to which Belladora kind of puts her finger to her mouth, Livy, and shows you from the back door through the main kind of house to the front door. And she's like, this is going to get rather dangerous really quickly, okay? We're going to need to draw their attention. If it hits you, you're probably going to die.
Actually, this was exactly the kind of plan I was having for Livy, where it's like, everyone go upstairs. She'll just stab down here and hope that she doesn't die. So
She's looking at you. She's like, Livy, focus. Hit you, die. Okay? Outside, we're going to draw their attention, and then they're going to jump up ahead, and this is all going to go well.
All right. Olivia takes a deep breath, and as Polidora leads the way, she'll just kind of whisper to herself, Tuesday, and follow after.
She heads out into the alleyway, quickly waiting. She's going to do a stealth check to try to jump from one side of the street to the other without getting seen. And she basically holds up her hand to see if you can, to tell you to wait. She does a check, which is going to be very stealthy. She slips to one side, and then she looks at you. She holds her crossbow, and then she points, and she's like, go ahead. Make a distraction.
Oh, make a distraction. Okay. I was like, getting ready for her to do a stealth check. Oh, goodness, make a distraction. All right. She'll just step out and just go, hey! Giants!
You guys waiting on top of the building are kind of like creeping against there's this little ledge, and you're looking over, crossbow in hand, and then whatever else everybody else has. You're waiting, and then you just see this giant kind of looking around. It's getting frustrated. It's punching into a building, to which point Livy just steps out. Hey, calls it out. The giant looks up. You don't speak giant, so you don't hear what it says, but it just says, I'm tired of your small folk games.
And
give me the boy, to which it's going to start like running towards you. I'm going to say, since it's your turn, going to get to act before it does, but it's still like not closing the distance, but it looks like on its turn it will close the distance.
She is totally ready in action. And she's going to get a nice kind of power stance, or at least like kind of like going, okay, people who've used this weapon, I remember they'd like stand like this, and this feels good. It's not quite the fencing thing, but I should be able to get enough momentum, like kind of thinking through the process, like this should work.
Yeah, and you see Belladora like mouthing to you, swing for the legs. To which
we are like on the same freaking wavelength. She's like,
to which Warrendale, you're now up. You're kind of given all these like shaky ass commands in the heat of the moment. It's up to you what you do now.
Was she trying to give away another crossbow, or was her crossbow?
She gave away one crossbow and kept one for herself.
Gotcha.
She didn't actually give you anything, unfortunately.
That's fine. Following the others, she'll do what she's saying to, and follow Octavius and Sunny up the stairwell. He'll draw out his own crossbow and load that as well, and get ready to fire whenever she says fire.
All right. You ready in action to fire on Belladora? Bringing us up to the top of the initiative. Sunlit, you actually kind of are missing out, but I imagine that the group would relay to you what Belladora said, which is just basically like wait for her signal. No one really knows what that is, though. It's kind of like this chaotic plan that's been jammed together in split seconds as things are going on. What do you do?
Oh my! I'm sorry. I just read this. I'm reading things. Anyways, I am shocked by the results of the UFC fights tonight. But anyways, I am going to see what is happening, and if the giant is tripped up in the contraption that they're trying to use, she will.
No, giant is still running towards Liffy.
Yeah, she doesn't want to mess that up, because it seems as if they're going to try to at least make it prone or incapacitated in some way, and she will wait to ready. She will ready action, an attack action where she plans on jumping off of the building on top of the giant, and once it falls to the ground, if that's what happens.
All right. Belladora's up. She kneels down, and to her, this crossbow is pretty big in size. So she literally takes a kneeling position where she braces herself, sinks the kind of crossbow into the ground. There's actually a spike on the butt end of it. She sinks it into the ground and kind of holds onto it. You see her grab a rope and start to wrap it around herself in some way. And she too is readying an action. Octavius, you're now up. I don't know if you really know necessarily what's fully going on, but she gave you this weird ass contraption crossbow thing. Said, wait for her cue. What do you do?
As soon as Octavius saw Livy step out onto the street, he was nervous for everything. He didn't really understand what was going on, so he just basically pulled the crossbow up to his eye and has it locked in on the very first giant that he sees that's coming towards Livy. I believe that it's Drufi. And just is basically readying an action to fire this thing in the way that Octavius deems that it feels appropriate to fire it when he's given the signal.
All right. Give me a check to see if you can figure this out. I'm trying to think of what check would be the most appropriate. If you have something in mind, you let me know. I'm thinking investigation would make the most sense to see if you can understand how it works. All right. That's a pretty good investigation roll. So from what you can tell, this is like a heavy crossbow, but the rope connecting to it, from what you're like pulling together, is supposed to sink into the creature, and then the rope itself is supposed to pull the shooter with it. So basically, somehow Belladora has crafted this makeshift weapon, or maybe not Belladora, but she's in possession of this makeshift weapon, which, if you're understanding right, which sounds absolutely ludicrous and dangerous as fuck, is supposed to shoot the giant and drag you with it. Now, whether you want to go along with that is up to you. You can just shoot the crossbow normally, or you can see what Belladora has done across the street and follow suit.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll have the action ready. We'll all be surprised if this happens.
Are you going to shoot the weapon as intended, or just shoot it and not get dragged along?
Are we at the point where I'm shooting it?
Not yet. I just want to know how you're ready. Or are you just going to say what you're going to do when you attack?
Good, yeah, because I'm really not sure yet.
Okay, so yeah, you're just going to hold on. To which Dufree is now up, and she's going to run in and just about to attack Livy, but that's when all the readied actions kind of spring out. Belladora pushes on the crossbow once more to make sure it is dug into the ground, and she is going to swing at Dufree or shoot at her, to which she rolls a hit. The crossbow sinks into her. It creates this absolutely like tight tension instantly. The rope sinks in, and then as it does so, the giant pulls away. The crossbow is stuck into the ground, so it creates this like sharp kind of like pulling tension, like a line that's pulled really tightly, to which Belladora grabs onto it, swipes at the ground, which instantly releases the tension, and then kind of slingshots her towards the giant, to which now everybody else can do their readied action. We'll start with Livy and just go in order.
All right, so let's see here. Two-handed weapon?
Two-handed weapon. You're proficient with it, but it's strength-based.
Oh my gosh. I'm using my inspiration. Like, come on. Yeah, so would a -1 and a -1 would cancel each other out, right? Yeah. So she wouldn't have any negatives +3. So let's try this. All right, I'll take a 21 to swing that thing. Her foot started to slip a little bit, but she's like, oh, wait, no, just wait, and boom. Swings it around.
All right. Now, what that makes happen is the giant has to make a saving throw to not be knocked prone, but it made a natural 20, so it doesn't get knocked prone, unfortunately, but you get to do a D8 damage plus your strength.
So 3.
No, the minuses actually don't minus, so it just stays.
Okay, cool. 4.
4.
Yes, 4 damage.
All right, so
I'm
yeah,
proud of myself though.
it's not quite as much damage as you'd want done with your rapier, but you see that the giant almost starts to trip. Now go ahead, whoever else had a readied action, which is pretty much everybody. Next up is Warrendale.
Incoming. Nope.
Miss.
Shakily add a bolt into this thing. I just kind of fire off in the distance. Shit.
You miss. Markham up next. He too misses. After Markham is where the hell is next up is Sunlit and then Octavios. So what do you do, Sunlit?
Top of all right.
What's that?
Yeah. All right. So no, I said that would probably go top order, so that'd be me. So she stumbled, but she didn't fall. Is that correct?
Yes. Belladora is slingshotting herself towards this creature with this makeshift crossbow that she has.
All right. So I've also had a turn in between, so I have my full movement. Full.
Yep. Or this is the ready action actually.
So
this is the ready action that you're launching. So all you have is your action.
I'll have my action and my extra attack because whenever I take an attack action, I get an extra attack action. All right, yeah. So she will just throw 2 darts because I can't. My plan is to jump on her, but
you can do that.
Possibility.
She just hasn't fallen yet. You can still jump on her. She's like right underneath you. She's just not prone.
So the idea is I'd like to jump on her to see if I can continue to make her try to fall.
Yep. So go ahead, and that would at that point turn into a contest.
Okay.
So go ahead. Let's see what happens. You jump down. You got to beat before you roll at 21.
Yeah, I can beat that. Sure. That's. Can I use acro?
Yep. Yeah, sure. That works for me. Nice.
Oh, I beat a 21.
You land on top of this frost giant's kind of like head, or not necessarily head, but on its shoulders. You dig your claws in as you kind of like start to slip down its back, but as you sink your claws in, the giant yells out in pain, and you're just kind of like stuck on there. She like looks over to you like she's very enraged by this and gonna swat you off, but nonetheless you hang on.
Right, and her, and I use the momentum of myself falling to pull her down so that she falls. Because her feet were still bound, right? By what we did.
They're not bound, but they're swiped at, so she's already kind of like half tripping. So what I'll do is make her check again. This giant has a -1 to their dex, but for some reason, every time I roll a dex check, I'm just absolutely killing it for numbers. So she still somehow manages to stay. She starts to stumble even more. She falls into a building. You start to hear the building break, but then she pushes herself back up, breaking the building even more, and she's still somehow on her feet. Octavios, you're ready to action.
Can I hit her with a D4 because of my claws?
Sure. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll get that plus my strength modifier, which will give me a +4. So I'm going to roll the damage.
Okay. Use the crossbow and this crazy, and he's going to use it as a grappling hook, and he's going to shoot it just at the feet of the giant, and he's going to hook it onto something on the other side of the street. Well, then Octavius is going to use the side of the building, and he's going to just kind of the side of the building and pin the crossbow with the rope attached to it. Well, that's hopefully, like whatever is out of their building.
Okay, so say again.
Sorry. Hopefully use that. Am I cutting out?
Yeah, you cut out a bit on me, so try again.
Yeah, I'm using a grappling hook, and I'm going to shoot the hook.
Yep.
So it latches in, and I'm going to try to use it to trip the giant.
All right, yeah, that's cool for me. Make an attack now. See how accurate you are. Nice enough. You sink it in across the street. It kind of sinks. Now, as like a form of like tripping the giant, you can obviously picture how the line is awkwardly kind of lined, like you're shooting from a 20-foot high building across the street. So it does kind of go down at this like very sharp kind of angle, if that makes sense. Maybe like a 40-degree angle or something like that. So you definitely don't know, like that's what you're intending to do, right? Like create a trip line.
Yeah, but I wanted to kind of like jump off the side of the building and catch the crossbow on something to stick it in.
Okay.
So hopefully like 20 feet would be cool.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So to jump off the building itself, you're 20 feet up. So that's going to be some acrobatic shit to do so gracefully. So give me, if you want, it's going to be dangerous.
Sunny do it plenty of times. She's
Yeah.
graceful.
You can definitely do it, but it's going to be dangerous. So it's up to you. If you want to like jump off the side of the building using the snow or whatnot, you definitely want to do it. All right. 9 is not graceful. So you make it down to the ground. You make it down to the ground very, very quickly. So quickly that
Graceful as a rock.
you take 11 damage. So if you're still up, you got down to that ground extremely quickly and are able to shoot it across and create a trip line. Unfortunately, 11 bludgeoning damage from the graceful swan dive that you just did off the side of the building.
The armor weighed me down a little more than I expected, I guess.
Yeah, so poof, you hit the ground. Oh, your head's ringing. You kind of dazed for a moment, but you focus on the task at hand. You sink the crossbow into the ground. You shoot it. I'm not even going to really make you roll to hit because obviously like shooting a crossbow into the side of the building to make a trip line wouldn't be that hard. So you're able to do so. A trip line is now set. And the giant is kind of like mucking around everywhere. So that is okay. But now that was actually the end of the giant's turn. So now that all the readied actions have been sprung, it's finally going to take its turn, which is swinging at you, Livy. You unfortunately did not knock it down, so it is going to get its 2 attacks. The first one miraculously missed, and the second one is a 15 to hit.
15's her AC.
All right, so good luck as some giant damage is coming your way. What's that?
Never mind, she doesn't get it. But yeah, it's 15. I was like, I have duelist. Nope. Not when you're wielding whatever the sight thing is.
27 damage just hit you.
She finds herself comfy in the side of a building or in the ground, depending on how she's being swung at or punted halfway across the town. And she's in dreamland for a little bit.
Livy is now unconscious. Markham says, shit, this is not working. He's going to jump down to the ground, doing an acrobatics check himself. He's done with this crossbow shit. He makes it down to the ground much more gracefully than Octavius did. He jumps down onto the balcony and then grabs onto the balcony and kind of parkours his way down. Pulling out his sword that he has, he's just going to charge at Dufree. He's going to swing. He hits finally. He's two-handing it. So he does that much damage. Livy, you unfortunately got to make your first death saving throw.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
Right.
One fail for Livy.
Yep.
Warrendale,
Bless.
you're up with your crossbow. You see that this plan, although well intent in its design, is quickly going to shit as Livy was just struck by the frost giant and knocked unconscious. Everyone's kind of now like breaking the organization and just going like balls to the wall once they see Livy get hit.
All right. With Octavius's tripwire, is that like right in front of this giant?
Yeah, so presumably on its next turn, it is going to try to, it'll probably trip over it, potentially. You also see that the weapon that Livy had, which was looked like in design was to trip it up, is now sitting on the ground where she just got rocketed away. So basically right at this giant's feet. And then Belladora, this is all like happening in 6 seconds. So Belladora is still en route towards the giant's face. She's probably going to arrive slingshot on the giant in her turn, but that's kind of what's going on. Oh yeah, and Sunny is on its back.
Well, hope you like to go giant riding. I'm going to use my very last spell here. I'll cast Thunderwave. I'm hoping to push this thing forward so that it trips over this thing now instead of on its turn.
Nice, I like that.
It looks like a con save, DC 15. I'm sure it has decent con. But...
It does have pretty decent con. It rolled a 21.
All right, it'll still do half damage. So.
All right, just not back there.
Right.
All right, 12 damage. I will do that to her, putting her at. All right. She's past the bloodied state for anyone who's willing to know, but still fighting pretty strong. The Thunder Blast explodes out through the alleyway, kind of echoing rather loud, but the giant still stands, not tripping, to which now brings us up to the
I'm
top.
gonna use my
Go ahead.
I'm gonna use my last sorcerer point just to do a firebolt cantrip, I guess.
All right, go for it. Let me know if you hit.
Let's see. Cast. No. All right.
All right. Unfortunately, does not go through. Sunlit, you're on this thing's back.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. So she's just gonna. I'm gonna go ape shit on it.
Ape shit it up.
Ape shit time. Wow. When you roll a 1.
Not one.
Yeah. What does that do?
Give me a dex save to see if you can hang on for dear life. As when you go to lift out the claws, the thunder wave just kind of explodes in the same fashion that you're like just getting ready to attack. That you're momentarily potentially going to lose balance. You, however, are able to hang on for dear life. You don't get swung off the giant.
All right. So I get my extra attack. That's a hit.
All right, go ahead and do some damage.
That is 10 damage.
10 damage. Very nice.
Let me see something here. Just one quick second. So I may use a key point for something else. I know it's in here, so let me just look. What does this do? How does that work? Oh, it's got a huge con save, right?
It's pretty constitution based, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna flurry of those.
All right, go for it.
I'm thinking about stunning strike, but it's got a huge con. Makes sense. That 15 is it? So we can do that.
Yep. Definitely whacking away at this thing. That's 7 more damage.
Yeah, 7 more. And
all right.
last but not least.
Oof.
Oof.
Double nat 1, eh?
Another nat 1? That's just insane.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and I'll roll another one to see if I stand.
Yep.
That's nuts. So
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
yeah, I made it last time with 14, so I must have 15.
Yep, you're good.
All right. Yeah, so she's still on top. She's just hacking away at it.
All right. To which point Belladora's time is up and she's slingshotting herself across, to which she just kind of yells out suddenly, almost like kind of just caught in the actual heat of the moment, "Die, you son of a bitch!" And then pulls out a short sword, or daughter of a bitch, I guess would be the correct thing. And she misses, to which she has a check to make. What's that?
I'd give her inspiration if I had it.
She's going to now make a check to see if she can hold on for dear life against this thing. Now, what she does do, though, she's not nearly as agile as you, Sunlit, but she sinks those spiked boots into the chest of the creature, which gives her a little extra momentum. And now she's going to make a check against Dufree and is able to just barely hang on as her spike boots kind of sink in, and she jabs her other hand in, just hanging on to this creature for dear life. Octavios, you're now up. The creature is going to act right after you and presumably walk into your tripwire trap, but you still get to act before it does. You could actually
Octavius will
go ahead.
Street level. Octavius will run into the fray, and he will grab. He will grab Willow. Or no.
Livy.
God. He will grab Livy, and he'll pick her up. And as he's grabbing her, he's going to cast. God, where is it? He's going to cast Channel Divinity Preserve Life for the other 13 points that he has.
Nice. 13 points of healing to Livy then.
Yeah, and he's going to try to pull her off the street and out of the way of where the giant might. But he's also going to try to use his presence as an enticement for the giant to move forward.
Absolutely. So with your movement, you're able to grab up to her, drag her to the side of the alleyway, heal her, and then you kind of run out into the middle of the street. And what do you say to the giant to pull it towards you? You actually speak giant.
Octavius will look up at the giant and be like, "We told you, we just want to help. You should really calm down. Everything's going to be fine." Blah.
Yeah, now that you guys are, and you're speaking this in giant, I imagine, so you're just telling it like everything's going to be fine. We're trying to help, as like everyone's kind of hanging off of it, pelting it with attacks, and it's bloodied now. So it's going to make its way over to you. Here comes another dex check at -1. Let's see if I can actually not roll super high. Literally rolled a 19, so 18. It comes into the rope, but with such force that it actually just knocks the rope right out of the ground. To which point it readies up its great axe, Octavius, and intends to send you flying next. Good luck, sir. First attack, definitely a hit. Second attack, oh my god, you're fucking going unconscious. All right, let's see what happens. Second attack hits, but I have a feeling it's not going to need to.
No, but you gotta hit them both. If you do more than his life total, he's gonna die.
Well, yeah, I would just knock him unconscious, and then it wouldn't follow up with that. So the first attack does knock you unconscious, to which it now has to deal with 2 other people on it. So the other attack will go towards Belladora, who finds herself on the chest of this creature. It's going to try to hit Belladora. Belladora has an ability as a reaction, which... All right, lets her roll out of the way and increase her AC by 2, but unfortunately, that's not nearly enough. So she's going to get whacked too. All right. So, whew, she gets whacked, falls off to the ground instantly as the spikes kind of break way. The creature rips out the crossbow bolt and just slams her into the ground with it. She is dropped to the ground and barely clinging on to consciousness. Dufrie's turn now, however, is over. Livy, death save.
Yes?
Oh, sorry, no. You're healed.
Markham.
Livy, action turn. Sorry.
She just wakes up, just kind of like, okay, my head hurts a lot. And
you look over and see Octavius get smashed to unconsciousness. Presumably he dragged you to the street, healed you, and then ran back out into the fray, and then pung, hit like a golf ball across the street. You see him knocked unconscious again.
And she will get to her feet and rapier and do what she does best. Stab to stab. Whoa, why am I rolling at advantage?
For some reason, you're rolling at you're rolling at disadvantage because the game still thinks you're unconscious. You're not unconscious anymore.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll again.
Thank you.
Apparently, the game thinks you can roll at disadvantage when you're unconscious.
Sure. Maybe you'll get a random reflex or something.
All right. First attack hits. Go ahead and do your other attack. Hits.
Sweetness.
Very nice.
Alrighty. As she comes back in, weapon ablazing, going, yeah. This, I think I'm just going to stick with my sword.
Yeah. Fuck this giant weapon. You're going to go with your sword. You have much better luck. You burst into a flurry, stabbing at it in every single way you can. It kind of drops to the ground.
All those sensitive points on the feet. Get the Achilles heel if she can.
It starts to hop on one foot as you like jab the rapier right into its toe or something like that. It is in critical state.
May all your dex saves be at disadvantage now.
Warrendale, it drops down to like both knees to try to swing at Livy. It's in critical state. What do you do?
Warren's covered in blood, mostly his own, pretty much all his own. Looks really battered up. What little bit of spark is left is fading away quickly. I'm just going to firebolt.
All right. Might be enough if you get a good damage roll. Hit.
Notice that I'm level 5 now, so it should be 2d10, but it only
Oh.
shows 1d10, so I'm going to roll 2 dice.
Perfect. Even more chance.
I'm not sure how to fix it, but
10.
Yeah, we can go to
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Oh, it barely clings on to life. This one, it gets slammed with the firebolt. It pushes its back. It finally like falls to the ground on its butt.
I'm going to use a sorcerer point to re-roll that one.
Yep, go ahead.
Maybe it'll help me.
Oh,
Hey.
describe what it looks like as you take Dufree down. She falls to the ground from your strike, and then I just imagine you channeling this energy. Go ahead and describe it.
Right, so you guys see Warren as he leaps off the side of this building. This bit of electricity coalescing turns into this reddish flame. I'm just going to use my ability there to float down, basically, or move the 10 feet down for both spells. But as he kind of touches down on the ground, just these last couple waves of flames roll off of him, smashing into her. You see him drop to the ground, his knees, and then just fall face first into the dirt, gasping for air.
You're all at this point probably gasping for air. I'm not sure if everyone took damage, but I imagine pretty much everyone took a little bit of everything. You're breathing heavily as Dufree has been defeated on the ground. You hear Belladora cough out blood, and then she starts to laugh. We actually did it. We took that big bitch down. I can't believe this stuff works, kinda.
It was very wise of you, Belladora. We should probably go back inside this home now.
To which you hear, boof, boof, boof. Frostneck comes around the corner. You're all panting and sweating from the fight you just had. It took pretty much everything you had just to take Dufree down. And now you see old Frostneck with rage in his eyes. He sees his leader, Dufree, taken down. What do you guys do?
I'm up first, right?
What's that?
I'm theoretically up first, right?
Warrendell was the last to act. And Frostneck is technically up next in the initiative after him.
Okay.
Actually, he's at no initiative, so let me roll him in and see where he is. For some reason, he got. I thought I had it, but it kicked him out, and now has him at nothing. So he actually did literally roll a 5 though, which puts him up right under Warrendell. However, he's quite far away, so he's walking up down the street and picking a rock up and getting ready to throw it. I guess he technically could throw said rock, to which he will do so. Who's getting it? Let's roll to see here really quick. Who's the target of him? That's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Luckily for you guys, Markham is who he sees for some reason. And I just happened to roll that on the D6. And even better, I rolled really low that Markham didn't even get hit. That's impressive. Now we're back to the top of the initiative. What do you guys do as another fully healed frost giant is heading your way with rage in its eyes from you killing its leader?
It shouldn't be fully healed. He got damaged slightly when.
Yeah, sorry, not fully. He has like a single crossbolt sticking in his back or something. He has a little bit of damage on him.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that, seeing that I was still on her back.
Yeah.
That when she got lit up, I'm gonna pull her back towards me. So I land on the ground with her, and now she's like on her knees, but falling over under her back.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So you like want her on top of you?
No, I want her on the ground on her back with me have gotten off of her back.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Or would that, if you want me to be able to do that?
Yeah,
Rack
you can.
or
That's
whatever.
fine. Yep, that's fine. You can be on top.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm going to stand on top of her and yell at Frostneck.
Mm-hmm.
We have downed your leader. And there's no reason for you to come and attack us anymore, Frostneck. That's what she called you. I heard her. This quarry is not with us any longer.
There's more of us than there is of you.
There's
I
only one of
simply
these
only
buttons.
blow that horn, and the rocks will begin again.
Where's the horn?
On you see that I guess with her back turned, you would see that it's half buried underneath Dufree.
I would like to jump on that horn.
All right. Like, are you trying to
Both.
attack it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and hit. It actually does have like a hit. It does have like stats and everything.
Just roll D20.
Yep, just hit it like you normally would on your turn.
Oh,
You can try to
yeah.
destroy it.
Yeah.
You hit it, obviously. Doesn't have the highest AC. Go ahead and do damage. This is like a massive horn, like it's bigger than you. So, and it's made of some kind of like animal's tusk
Right.
or something.
But she's laying on top of it as well, right?
Yeah.
So I would think with the weight of myself and the weight of this giant that it'd be a little bit easier to break than not. But maybe not. Because I'm going to make it a D4 this time because it's kind of, I'm not using a weapon.
All right.
Just jumping out of the way.
That is not enough to destroy it.
All right. Well, I get two attacks. So if I attack that, I can still attack it again, right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to do it again.
All right. Definitely a hit.
Yeah. Come on. Big money. Big money. No whammies. There you go.
All right. Still, you crack it, but this thing is still intact. Anything else?
Yeah. Then she freaks out. She loses it because if that horn doesn't exist, then therefore he can't call his friends.
All right.
12 on an inanimate object.
12 is the inanimate object's AC, luckily for you.
Oh man, she is going ham on this joint.
Yeah, you're messing this thing up, but to your frustration, even that has not broke it yet. But now it's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah. So it's another 14.
Yeah. The horn is gravely injured, but still hanging on for dear life.
So it could still be blown if need be.
Yeah, it might break with the blow, but it technically, as per its health bar, is still in attack.
The set object has a health bar. Yay!
Yeah. Next up is. Or you got anything else? Sorry.
It's the size of me. You said so I can't pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
it's bigger than you. It probably weigh like multiple 100 pounds, probably.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like a giant size horn.
I am going to. I'm not engaged with anybody, so I'm just going to move. No, I'm gonna. If it's so big, I'm gonna kind of hide behind it. And then if he kind of, I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna kind of hide behind it.
Yep, you hide behind it. Belladora being up, she coughs up blood and picks herself up. You can tell that she has many broken bones and whatnot. She is on the brink of unconsciousness herself. And she kind of looks to you guys and says, I don't know if we got this one, guys. It took everything I had just to take that one down. This isn't good. To which she looks around. She has one more crossbolt on her. She'll kind of like pop it off and she ends up missing just because of how injured she is, to which she just says, don't know if we can do this. Octavius, you're up next. And you're unconscious, sorry.
My death save is up next.
Yep, go ahead and give me a death. Now, is that one success, one failure? Or is it one success?
Oh, it's the one with the failure.
All right, yeah, that's right. Perfect. One success. All right, Octavia's unfortunately unconscious again. Closer to stabilizing, though. Livy, it says you're kind of like in this tired, injured state, thinking about what you're going to do, that you hear a voice call out that you don't recognize in a language. However, those of you who speak Giant would understand this language as someone saying, "Stop! You don't need to do this anymore. I'm the one you're looking for." You look around, and this is a language obviously Giant, but you look over, Livy, and you see Cyric standing in the middle of the street, speaking a language that seems similar to the Giant. What do?
She'd probably just like a bit of adrenaline, just like, Cyric, it's okay. We'll be able to handle this. And take up a defensive pose and try to protect him.
Livy, don't. They're looking for me or my father.
Well, your father, but still, you're not safe. And so,
Neither is everybody else, though. Look at all the damage that they've done. And this is all because of my dad. Therefore, all because of me. They're tracking him
because of your dad, just because they're looking for him. They are greedy. He has something that they want.
I understand this, but even if you defeat this one, there's more, is there not? You think that they'll simply go away?
Well, there's gonna be more. I guess here's our test run. We'll be more prepared for the next wave, right? Right. Oh.
Please, Livy.
Think
much blood has been shed here because of my blood, my father's blood.
Yes, but do you have what they are looking for? No. So even if they stop, they talk to you, you can't give them what they want, they're going to just continue to rampage again.
Don't know what else to do. Don't want to see anybody else get hurt.
I hear you. But that's just kind of what it is.
I can trick them. He kind of like whispers to you, like you're kind of standing beside him, and I can trick them. I'll tell them something else. I'll lead them far away from here. And then, I don't know.
And
Hopefully I can just lead them on a goose chase for a while. Far enough for you guys to get away, for the city to prepare. Don't know what else to do.
Got a point, Olivia.
To which he starts speaking out. To which point he starts speaking out in Giant. It is I, Artist Simber's kin.
Oh,
I know where Artist is, and I can lead you to him. Duvessa kind of like cries out, like, "Don't do this, Cyric. You're just gonna get yourself killed. Your dad wouldn't want this." And he says, "If my dad wouldn't have wanted this, he would have been here. He wouldn't have left us. He wouldn't have let this happen. If he's such a great hero, he would have been here to save us."
Unless he's in trouble and it's help, or
What does Livy do on her turn? You're stuck with a moral conundrum here. Let Cyric
shift. Oh, she's pretty convinced, but I think there's also this portion that she's like, maybe we can regroup and follow along and pick them off later. And so she'll try and give him the benefit of the doubt, but she still has her hand around that sword. And if they try to make any aggressive move of like, we're going to pummel you, she's going to stab. And hopefully she can read that off of body language versus whatever they're saying, since she doesn't understand them.
Yeah. Warrendale, what do you do? This stupid kid that was the priest at the church has stepped forth, and it's not like you don't necessarily understand the language that it speaks to the Giant, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what he's doing as he whispers to Livy like he's going to trick them and lead them.
And Livy looking very skeptical, just like...
Warren lifts himself up out of the muck on the ground, covered in mud and blood. The boy tells the truth. If you want this artist fellow, Then you need him alive, and he will lead you to him. It is that, or we kill you like the rest of your kin that we've killed already.
The giant doesn't necessarily understand what you're speaking as you speak to common in it.
Oh yeah. Speak.
Yeah, you just you're intimidating it in your mind though.
But
It basically ignores you entirely. As the giant starts to approach, though, Sirik would look over and it's like, the coats are almost finished. They're in the church. There's little work to do. I'm sure that Octavius could finish it up. He was doing a good job. Me and him worked on them all day. They'll keep you warm. Please keep the town safe. I'll promise I'll try to lead them away for as long as I possibly can. I'll send them on a goose chase across the world. And then the giant approaches, spoof, poof, poof, steps in front of Sirik. He's standing in the street, shaking, not only because it's freezing cold, but because terrifying giant creature now stands in front of him. It drops down to her knee, woof, picks him up, squeezes him. You can hear him start to be squeezed a bit. Holds the giant at his face. You are kin of Simba. To which the spoken in giant Sirik replies, yes, I will tell you everything you need to know if you leave this town and all the people alone. I will not say anything else until you and your giant comrades fall back, though. To which the giant replies, if this is a trick, I will crush you and pop your head off, and I will come back here and level this town. Only Sunlit hears this because she's the only conscious person speaking. Giant. The giant stands back, looks at you all, kind of sneers at you. Makes sure to knock over another building as it's leaving, but then starts to walk down the street. You look around. Livy, I'm sure that it's not the easiest thing to let this happen, but as you look, you see Octavius bleeding out in the street. You see Belladora badly injured. You see Warrendale badly injured. Even Sunny has taken some damage. Your friends need to be attest to right now, especially Octavius, who's bleeding out on the streets. What do you guys do as the giant starts to walk down the streets with Sirik in hand? Potentially your only connection to Artis.
Through her splitting headache, she's going to start maneuvering the unconscious and somewhere safe. Like, if they can find something more comfortable for them to be on, at least get them out of the snow and such. And
so yeah, it's your turn. You can make a medicine check on Octavius if you want to try to stabilize him.
Let me go check and just make sure I'm not going to kill him.
I rolled a 0 and didn't kill him, so.
Yeah.
And
I just rolled a 5. Yeah, he's definitally hurt real bad.
I thought about giving him a failed save, but I felt like this encounter was
got this. She totally got this.
Oof, your finger in the holes.
You know.
If there's anything that Octavius has learned through this encounter, it's that his friends have the worst CPR training of all, or first aid training of all time.
I was like, feels bad. She's like, they use heat to cauterize wounds. I hear snow does the same thing. It's just a reverse. It will help kind of freeze, and therefore the flow will stop. It's just like taking some snow in like certain areas. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Oh my So like Livy's throwing snow in your face. Warrendale's like poking his finger into your cuts.
Yeah.
She's like only doing that necessarily, just whatever like the biggest wound is.
Yeah. And Sunny's just standing there over them going, no, wait, no, just put it in there. No, why are you putting snow in his mouth?
Vesa comes by and says, "What the hell are you doing? Trying to kill him? We need to get him to the church.
No, we're trying to save him.
The church.
That will be good.
They'll have healers there." And then Octavius sends all 3 of your friends absolutely butchered their medicine save, you're going to need to at least give me another death saving throw.
Oh my
Good that window bird.
I'm dying inside for like, yeah, that sounds like something Livy would do, but come on, common sense.
Failure.
After Devessa, says that Sunlit would definitely just pick him right up, put him over her shoulder. She's certainly big enough and strong enough to carry him, and would head towards the church, as she said.
Absolutely. All right. And since it's 2 a.m., that's where we're going to leave it off, with you carrying Octavius's unconscious body towards the Church of the Triad, in hopes that through the wreckage and destruction, there is a healer left that could potentially bring him back to consciousness, since apparently you guys are the worst first aid committee of all time.
Clearly.
It's actually only one.
What's that? It's only
Actually, clocks fall back an hour a night.
time's going back. So there you guys. You guys get an extra hour of sleep, and I didn't actually run the game super late. Yeah, what? Just kidding. Anyways, we're going to end it, guys. We'll pick up next session. Good job. You survived fighting 3 frost giants. That's something.
Oh, we killed 2.
Yeah.
You killed 2.
I got knocked out twice.
We'll schedule the next game and figure out what is going to go on from here. Thanks for playing, guys. Good job. And until next time.
Oh, thanks.